this is night one of maybe 2 or 3, the College World Series Finals. The Big Ten Michigan Wolverines and the SEC's Vanderbilt Commodores. We started with 64. We got it down to 8. Now we're down to 2. These two teams are very familiar with each other. In fact, you could call them mirror images. And tonight, one will take the first step to winning a College World Series title.
We are ready to go today from Omaha.
We've heard the doubters, people, saying we're a long shot.
People are going to say what they want, but the thing that makes us special is that we don't really care. We knew that we could be here the whole time.
This is a loose and fun Michigan team.
The program hasn't been here in 35 years.
For the first time since 1983, Michigan has won a game at the College World Series.
Being so close to going to Omaha the past couple of years, and then finally doing it this year, it's just been a dream come true.
There is a lot of firepower with this Vandy squad.
A lot of guys dream about coming back, finish on a high note.
Vandy's victorious. They win the 2014 College World Series.
This is where I've wanted to be since I was 13, 14 years old.
Vanderbilt came in as the favorites to win this entire thing.
We're here for a reason. We believe that our team is capable of winning everything.
The Wolverines are going to be playing for a national title.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. We got a shot at winning this.
Similarities are eerie, and they have very robust fan bases. The Midwest covered with Michigan as we welcome you to the NCAA College World Series. It's presented by Capital One. Vanderbilt has been the pride of the South recently. Our headlines in this College World Series, we said so long to a legend, 11. His run came to an end. Mike Martin, though, will hand the reins of the program over to his son for the next few years. 9 games decided by 2 or fewer. It's been really tight here in Omaha. Vanderbilt looking for its 2nd title. Michigan seeking its 3rd, but it's been a while. Not since the early 60s did they last win a College World Series. So we started with 8 here. 4 of them were SEC schools. We're down to 1. And the SEC has been in the finals 10 of the last 11 years. Been a while, 35 years for Michigan. Chris Budden down on the field will join us shortly. My friend Kyle Peterson, Eduardo Perez, and I'm Carl Ravitch. Tim Corbin runs Vanderbilt. Eric Bakich helped build it. Now he's doing the same thing at Michigan. There's something fitting about this reunion.
There's something just right. I mean, when Tim Corbin got the job at Vanderbilt, the first hire was Eric Bakich. The two of them built that program. When Bakich went to Michigan, he built it to look like Vanderbilt, and now one of them is going to win a national title here in a few days.
And it's the team that can slow down their heartbeat the most is the one that's going to win. One mistake could be the difference.
Michigan is playing terrific baseball, and they're doing it primarily not on offense, which baseball is all about, but they're pitching.
They've been really complete since they've been here, and really when you look at the run that Michigan's had all the way through the postseason, it starts on the mound. 3-0 with a 2 ERA, 25 punch-outs from Michigan pitching here. It's been 3 guys, the 3 guys that were mainly their starters during the course of the season. One, and Jeff Criswell has moved to the bullpen. We'll see if that stays during the course of the finals. But you got to now wait a lockdown closer in Criswell, who was a starter the whole year, and Tommy Henry's probably had the best start of anybody here in this College World Series. His first time out and only time out. It was a complete game shutout, didn't walk anybody, struck out 10. That'll get you the ball in game 1 of the finals.
Right. They are the only 2 staffs with 3 guys that have at least 100 strikeouts. Vanderbilt can pitch, but Vanderbilt is deep, diverse, and they can really hit.
They can, and this is a well-balanced approach team. If you haven't heard about the Vanderbilt Commodores, everybody else here and in the SEC, they know about them. They beat every team in the SEC. That had never been done before. Preseason ranked number 2. They play well fundamentally. They continue to just push and press and put you to your extreme. If you make a mistake, they'll get all over you. This is a team that's been here before, so this is something that's not new to any of their players. And J.J. Bleday, the 4th pick overall by the Miami Marlins, player that had 26 home runs this season, is looking for his first home run here in the College World Series. They're going to need his bat to take him to the championship.
A lot of folks are playing this as David and Goliath. Well, David was a preseason top 20, and they may be the Goliath. That's Michigan. Chris will join us with a story about the relationship between the 2 coaches after this.
We got the key to the city. We got the world in the palm of our hands. This is our moment. This is our time. This is our chance. We got the key to the city. Can't
Welcome back to the College World Series in Omaha. In 2002, Tim Corbin and Eric Bakich were assistants at Clemson under head coach Jack Leggett. But the following year, Tim Corbin went on to take over the head coaching job at Vanderbilt, and he brought Bakich along with him. But it wasn't an immediate sell. Bakich just would not take no for an answer. Corbin eventually said, "Sure, come along with me." Turns out, as Corbin says, it's one of the best coaching decisions he's ever made.
He and I became very close at Clemson. You know, just had a very strong feeling about going and building something with Corbs. Clemson obviously was the household name. Vanderbilt was not.
I've said this time and time again. Vanderbilt baseball is not Vanderbilt baseball without Eric Bakich.
Vanderbilt baseball is what it is because of he and Maggie. I did play a small piece in that.
I mean, he's just someone you want to be with. He's funny. He's energetic. The environment's better because he's in it.
I learned everything about recruiting from him. I learned so much of just about being a man, a husband, a father.
I'm just very happy that his team and our team has given both of us and our families the opportunities to be together.
I don't know what it's going to be like looking across the field. I haven't done it before, but I just know that this is the best way that we would want to face each other.
So Tim Corbin was recalling with me the first time that he ever met Eric Bakich on the campus of Clemson. He rolls up in his car with all of his stuff in it. He opens up his trunk, and it's full of strength and conditioning equipment. He said, "I knew I loved that guy. He's hardcore. He's energetic." Turned out to be a fantastic recruiter as well, Carl.
Sure did. He was torn between being an athletic trainer, which is why all that stuff was in his trunk, and being a coach. As you take a look at our Capital One batting order, the Michigan Wolverines, the visiting team tonight.
Guys, when you look at the top of the order, Jordan Wagyu, he is a guy that's been getting on base a lot during the season. 15 runs the other day versus Texas Tech. Keep your eye on Jimmy Kerr also from the cleanup spot. A monster CWS.
All right, so the guy that's been the Friday night starter the last 2 years for Vanderbilt gets the ball in game one. Drake Fellows, 6'5", 205 from just outside of Chicago, 6th rounder this year to the Padres. It's fastball slider, and the key tonight for Fellows is he needs swing on that slider. It is swing and miss. It's why the strikeout numbers are where they are, but you have to make Michigan earn it. When Fellows runs into trouble, it's just because the walk numbers are too high.
There is TD at Ameritrade Park. We started playing here in 2011. Vanderbilt's trying to become the first team to win 2 College World Series on this field. They, of course, won it in 14. We're in the finals in 15, and here they are back here in 19. 13-1. Drake Fellows will throw to the leadoff hitter, Jordan Wogu, with 3 leadoff homers this season.
Guys, this time of night, it is very difficult to see the baseball. Talk to both teams. They said the first 6 innings, it is tough as heck.
And Fellows bounces the first 2 in there as he's behind 2-0.
For the hitter, the shadows are absolutely atrocious right now for them. The lights really don't do any justice at all for them. And for the outfielders also, same thing with the sun.
Pulls another one, 3-0. You're looking at Wogu, who was a recruited walk-on, a freshman All-American last year. But for all these self-made baseball players that most of us are familiar with, this is another guy. During different winters, he would basically go into the cages at Michigan. He grew up in Ann Arbor and hit off the tee by himself. In there for a strike, he would send videos to the coaching staff to say, "How am I looking? How am I doing? How am I doing?" And he came back in the fall one year, and the exit velocity was like 110. And they're like, "Whoa, we may have something here."
This guy's got a chance.
He's got a chance.
Let's keep him around.
Look out inside, ball 4. You got the leadoff man Wogu on. One of the things to look for tonight, one of the differences between these two teams, the speed of Michigan. They are athletic. They steal a ton of bases, and Wogu is no exception. He's got 16 of them.
Michigan 102 stolen bases as a club this year, and they would like to play fast. And talking to Tim Corbin today, he said, "I realize that. We know that when they get on the base pass, especially with nobody out like they are right now, they're going to get active as the game goes on."
Here's the sophomore Jesse Franklin out of Seattle, Washington. He's the center fielder. He's got double-digit homers, and that one is up the middle, and that's going to go through for a single. Wogu is rounding. Here's your throw to third. He is out at third base, trying to take the extra on a single to center. A great throw from Pat DeMarco.
Two things here. One, Michigan setting the tone early, saying we are going to test those arms in the outfield. Wogu, yes, he's fast, but rule of thumb, if you get to second base and the center fielder has the ball, stop. He stayed. Perfect throw to third base. The tag applied by Austin Martin. DeMarco, great approach, attacking the baseball. Wogu this time, when he goes head first at third base, does not plant his face into it.
That was a close play. We do have instant replay available. Eric Bakich not looking at that. It looked like that tag might have been high up on that arm.
That one should have been looked at again. That one should have been looked at again.
And may have gotten in for Jordan Brewer. Pitch misses.
So watch the hand. Ball definitely beats him. Boys, he's safe.
He's safe.
He's safe. That's one, and these umpires can be buzzed. They can be buzzed by the NCAA if they see that it's a play that should have been looked at. That play should have been looked at. He was safe.
I'm surprised that Wogu did not
say anything.
I agree.
No, I agree. It's one of those two that where the ball beats him so much, but the tag just doesn't get down. The tag is high. You can see clearly that left hand was in there before the tag was applied by Martin. It was a strike, too. It was a perfect throw from DeMarco.
No doubt about it. Should be second and third with nobody out. Instead, Franklin's at second. Brewer's up. He's ahead 2-0. The right fielder. Great speed. So Greg Fellows early with the walk. He gave up that single to Franklin, and now he's behind again 3-0. And there are a bunch of nerves, Kyle. You pitched in a couple of these things. We've had pitchers say you can't even feel your legs for the first inning or two.
No, that's why you want to get out there and get a few underneath your belt. Fellows obviously has been in the environment before, but it's different game one of the finals.
Good look. Jeff Hendricks wearing ump cam, and again a special thanks to all the umpires this week for wearing that for us. It's a two-way street, a lot of cooperation from those guys, and we are appreciative of it. There are 6 umpires on the field tonight. Hendricks behind the plate. Terry Costello, Scott Klein, Greg Charles around the infield. And then you got 2 guys down the line. 3-1. This one to right field, and it is ferried in the corner. RBI for Brewer. The ball has been hit hard twice now. He's heading to third. He falls down. He will get back to second with a double. But Michigan very aggressive, lead at 1-0.
So far, the shadows have not bothered Michigan at all. 3-1 pitch. This one away. The athleticism of Brewer right there, just going the other way with it. Not trying to panic whatsoever. Just you throw it away, he'll hit it that way. A little trouble in the corner, and Brewer right here gets his feet tangled up. Trips with his left leg. Wisely goes right back to second.
So it's early, but leadoff walk. First pitch fastball, Jesse Franklin singles to center field. Now Brewer gets a 3-1 fastball, singles to right. Fellows needs to get in counts where he can use the slider. If he is forced to come back to the fastball, you will see comfortable swings from Michigan the whole time. If he can get to a plus count and go to the slider, that's when he's at his best.
20th double on the season for Brewer. And here comes Jimmy Kerr, who's been the hottest hitter for Michigan in Omaha, the first baseman. Strike one. Jimmy Kerr has had a monster College World Series. He is 6 of 13 with 2 homers, 6 RBIs. And this is a guy that's got a legacy at Michigan through his grandpa John, who was on the '62 championship team, and his dad Derek, who made it to Omaha with the '84 team.
Guys, we're 13 pitches into this game already, and Vandy has had 2 big breaks. One at third with the call, and the other one the trip right there by Brewer. He would have been standing easily at third base with Kerr at the plate.
He's homered in his last 2 at-bats. Fastball at 92 is by him, the 33rd round draft pick of the Detroit Tigers. Jimmy Kerr. His 14 homers shows all his offseason work. Spent the summer lifting weights. Had a chance to play. Decided to stay in Ann Arbor and worked on getting stronger. And it's paid off.
Jimmy Kerr's got a job waiting for him at Goldman Sachs. And he'd like to play the game a little bit longer and get a chance based on where he's drafted to if he wants to. But this is a kid that has used every bit of the Michigan education and the experience to put himself in a great spot. Baseball works wonderful. If it doesn't, Goldman's not a bad backup.
No, not
Good
at all.
fallback.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yep. He's gone for a strikeout for Drake Fellows. Kerr heads back. Yeah, he's got a dad that was president of Volkswagen America. You can see Dad, Grandpa, who played on that 62 team and did some amazing things, which we'll talk about. But one of them included pitching both ends of a doubleheader and pitching complete games in both ends of a doubleheader and throwing 313 pitches in a day.
Just another day. You good? Yeah, I'm good. I got game 2.
Incredible. Now here's Blake Nelson, the third baseman. Brewer is a threat to steal out there at second. This one is in the hole, and with the speed of Brewer, he's being waved in. He will score. It's 2-0 Michigan. RBI for Blake Nelson. What a start for the Wolverines.
Great jump at second base, secondary by Brewer. But I want you guys to keep an eye on the third base coach. He doesn't move at all. That's the sign you keep going, do not stop. No mixed communication whatsoever. There, he just stands straight still. Nick Schnabel at third base. This is a team that will not mix any of their signs up whatsoever. We see it at the coaching position, and we also see it with the players in their belt buckle area.
Don't be surprised if Nelson, who's 15 of 15 on steals, will go. They'll look over there. One of the things that has helped Michigan a lot this College World Series, they had 10 two-out RBIs against Texas Tech. This is another two-out RBI. And they have scored in all of the games they've played here in Omaha. And they get 2 more tonight. They've hit it hard. Here's Christian Bullock, the left fielder, chasing one high and out of the zone. Michigan is showing why they're here. They hit, they run, they're aggressive. And they haven't gotten to the mound yet. Bullock 1 of 9 in the College World Series and behind 0-2 out of Chicago, Illinois, a junior, 5'10", 175.
Blake Nelson, 15 for 15 stolen bases attempts. Very aggressive lead at first.
Not going, popped up, playable. Catcher Clark throws his helmet, makes the play. Wow, the Wolverines picking up right where they left off, running around the bases, putting the ball in play. Brewer's face lets you know we're in a College World Series finals game. The long season has now entered the final stage. There will be a new College World Series champion. Welcome back, everyone. Omaha, Nebraska. There's a guy getting familiar with all this. Tim Corbin, his 4th College World Series appearance. He's in his 17th year at Vanderbilt. We take a look at our Capital One batting order. They hope to get it started with Austin Martin. J.J. Bleday, as Eduardo said, in the top. Nation's top home run hitter, 26. He has not hit one here in Omaha yet.
He has not, but he's got a lot of protection and a lot of veteran experience behind him. Game-tying double for Ethan Paul in the cleanup spot.
All right, lefty Tommy Henry got a 2-0 lead as he takes the mound to face Austin Martin, who's hitting over 400 for the year. He first pitch swings at it to third. Nelson fires across, and there's one man down. A little different start for Tommy Henry tonight than we saw with Drake Fellows.
He has the most impressive start in his College World Series so far. Complete game shutout for Tommy Henry. That saved the bullpen. It was game 2. Then Michigan had 3 days off before they played last Friday. Don't change a thing now, because he's been the best yet here. 127 strikeouts. That's a school record over the course of the season, and it's a great combination of power and swing and miss. 25 walks, 127 strikeouts this year for Henry.
Here's Bleday. So you get a second-round pick of the Diamondbacks on the mound against the number 4 overall pick of the Marlins. The beauty of college. We talk so much about the Michigan pitchers. Joe Donovan, when we were asked him to describe Henry, one of the things he said was, he's the biggest dork on our team.
Perfect.
Yep.
I resembled that remark. I remember.
82 degrees first pitch in Omaha. We got a shift on against Bleday, and Henry is ahead 0-2. Slow roller, fair ball. Kerr, simple play, and 2 slow rollers for 2 outs.
And we saw Henry against Florida State. Pretty much the same thing. A lot of soft contact that he induces. Knows how to hit the corners really well. And this is where, as a hitter, you have to be patient. Cut the plate in half and be able to look for one spot and meet him to that point.
You can see how efficient he was, too. 15 to 27 outs on 3 or fewer pitches, all 10 strikeouts swinging. And Florida State was 0 for 10 against the slider with 6 punch-outs.
Ethan Paul, the shortstop. Strike 1. He's putting together a legendary season. Tommy Henry was in a hospital prior to game 3 of the Super Regional. He was dealing with pneumonia. Said he'd be able to pitch in game 2. They're like, no, you're in a hospital. You can't do that. Came back and pitched an unbelievable game 3. There's been no slowdown.
Well, Henry told me before his last start how nervous he was. His legs were shaking on the mound. This time watching him in the dugout, he does seem so much more relaxed. He was singing while the guys were up hitting, just walking and talking around.
Chases back. Tommy Henry, welcome to game 1. Awfully impressive. 7 pitches. Probably was singing a Kenny Chesney song. We'll talk about why after this.
The NCAA College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. And Philadelphia cream cheese. It must be the Philly.
So, Big Ten tournament here in Nebraska. Kenny Chesney is playing in Lincoln. The guys are looking for a rallying cry. They all go to Chesney. They're really not a country music kind of team. And they all bought cowboy hats. They fell in love with them. Then they hear the Chesney song against Illinois before their last at bat. And they're like, whoa, there's some karma here. In fact, one of the players described Kenny Chesney as the savior of the season. Because if they lose that Illinois game, they're not getting into the NCAA tournament. So somewhere, Kenny Chesney has saved Michigan's baseball season. It's beautiful. And you know baseball people, they'll buy anything. And that's all it took. But yeah, you've got people. Jordan Brewer, do you like him? Well, now I do.
Yeah. Yep. He saved their season. Gotta like him now.
He was the one, so he's a savior.
So throughout the season on Thursdays, Bakich has motivational speakers speak to the team, and he's had guys like Tom Brady send in videos. Well, this past week, he got Kenny Chesney to send them a video. So how does that happen? It's really random. His wife, Jiffy, one of her bridesmaids in their weddings, is married to a songwriter who happened to know Chesney And the guys freaked out when they saw him on the screen.
Savior.
3 degrees of separation.
3 degrees of separation.
There we go.
This Tommy Henry, what a first inning he had. Shortstop Jack Blomgren, 2-2. That's just foul. One of the things we should talk about too, the approach of the Michigan hitter. You know, what are they trying to do? Because that is something that Bakich focuses on. So what is their approach?
Well, so far to start off this game, it's been to hit the ball the other way. We've seen it. We've seen it. We've seen it with Franklin up the middle. Brewer went the other way on a 3-1 count.
They got 3 guys between second and third. That's a foul ball. So the shift is on. We'll see if Blomgren can work one towards that second base hole.
And we saw it against Florida State also. Van Eyck, which has usually a lot of strikeouts, very difficult pitcher. They made him work. High pitch count. And by the 6th inning, he was out of the game.
Ready?
Part of their approach too, Eddie, is to force you to throw the ball over the plate. They have very good eyes. They're very patient. And when they get on, they move around the bases. Blomgren's another guy. All of them will run when given a chance. 3-2. And there you go. So back-to-back innings with leadoff walks. Well, for the last week and a half, we've highlighted the guys that have gone from Omaha to the big leagues. One of those guys, Michael Conforto. Big series started tonight between the Mets and the Phillies. He, of course, was with Oregon State in 2012 through 14, a College World Series participant 13. And the guy he scored there is Pete Alonso, who, of course, was a Gator at the College World Series and is only breaking like Met rookie records for homers this year.
That was almost a belly flop right there into home plate.
They pay Pete to hit it a long way.
Yes,
not necessarily slide.
Here's Joe Donovan, the catcher. That one did not get fouled. It goes off the glove. And wow, Michigan's got another runner in scoring position on a pass ball.
Philip Clark, I think, was surprised by the action on this fastball. Looked like it cut late. And Fellows does not look comfortable with the fastball so far. Fastball's so important for him because it gets him to the slider counts. Now, he can steal a strike with a slider sometimes, but he needs that fastball to be around. Scott Brown, the pitcher coach, on his way out a little bit earlier than he'd like.
So Brown goes out to talk to Fellows. They'll all gather around him. And Michigan brings their guys in. And the hitter there, Donovan, who's the catcher, the guy with the long hair. While everybody was at that Kenny Chesney concert, he was in the hotel room, as he said, sweating through his sheets with 103-degree temperature. So he was unable to attend that. But he certainly got the stories, and now he's getting the word of advice from Bakich. This is the 4th time that a head coach will take on his former assistant. George Horton and Jim Morris both were winners as sort of protege against mentor. And in this case, of course, Bakich, who was for 7 years at Vanderbilt. And that was before Vanderbilt was anything. I mean, they literally were not a place anyone wanted to go. Tim Corbin beats the drum of, hey, no one else took the job I did, and I was going to bring a kid because Jack Leggett gave me a kid a chance at Clemson.
Wouldn't be surprised here if Donovan tries to just butt and move him over. 8 for 60 in the last 17 games.
Like a catcher, and he is one, but offensively you saw him look down with his wrist. They have defensive cards, they have offensive cards. Once again, Drake Fellows has dug a big hole at 3-0. Both of Donovan's parents went to Illinois. His dad played baseball. His mom swam. And he said all of his buddies went to Illinois. He grew up in Clarendon Hills. He said, I just kind of wanted to do something a little different. Didn't want to get on a campus where you knew so many people, so he ended up in Michigan. 3-2, good pitch. Trying to bunt early. Why not do it with 3-1?
I like that he took it off. He's already in scoring position. There are no outs. He was looking for one pitch to hit the cookie right down the middle. That one was a little bit on the inside part up in the zone. It was a good take. Oh, look at Schnaub over there, third. The Schnabs.
He's dealing with shadows too. It's not easy. I mean, just picks it clean.
Everything's going right for Michigan right now. Look out. Greg Fellows, his third walk, second of the inning. Fellows came into this game 13-1 in the ERA of 3.97. He's given up 9 homers, but like Henry, a bunch of strikeouts, 126 on the season, and he has not yet looked comfortable.
Right now, Edgar Thomas most likely called upon to bunt here. The bunt has to go to third base. The corner's very aggressive, Infante and Martin have to get Martin to try to field this ball.
Strike one to Akeo Thomas out of Chicago, Illinois. 5'7", $165. He's the second baseman. 2 good second basemen in this game tonight. Harrison Ray for Vanderbilt and Akeo Thomas, especially in the field. There's Ray, made the final out in the game that got him into this College World Series final. It's a diving catch.
Tough bunt. Tough pitch to bunt on. Which was a little bit up and away. Try to get the angle. The bat head angle has to be pointing to where the second baseman plays his position. Creates the perfect angle and keep the bat eye level.
Patrick Raby up and thrown in a Vanderbilt bullpen earlier, who's been a starter for them the entire season. Raby's pitched once so far in this College World Series, and it's understandable why they have somebody up right now.
Left field, this one's going to get down. Akeo Thomas will bring in Blumgren to third base, and being held there is Donovan. But a 2-strike hit for Akeo Thomas and a 3-0 lead.
Bakich right now with the Midas touch. Takes the bunt off. Pitch up in the zone. Akeo Thomas just puts the head on it. See a little cut right there to it. Stayed flat. He knows it. Now 2 runners in scoring position. Swing away.
That's still nobody out. You turn the lineup over right now, and for Drake Fellows just has not looked comfortable with either one. That was the slider right there that stayed up in the zone. Akeo Thomas gets the bat head to it. Tim Corbin, this is not something you used to see when Fellows is out there. He's been their ace for 2 straight years, but has struggled so far tonight.
And given how good Tommy Henry's been, this is a huge inning here. Down 3, nobody out, 2 on. And Jordan Wogu swings through that one. Oh, 1-1. Wogu is a physical presence, 6'3", 235. Grew up in the shadows of Michigan Stadium, and it was baseball. Even though the team wasn't great, it was baseball that appealed more to him. He played high school football. Opted for baseball to third. That's fielded nicely by Martin across the diamond. That's a big out. No advancement from the runner.
Big out and really good base running by Joe Donovan at third base.
Speaking of Michigan and basketball, Juin Howard, of course, the new head coach. He's in town supporting Eric Bakich and the Wolverines.
Carol Hutchins, their softball coach, is in town. I saw him tweet a picture before they came in. The all-time winningest softball coach. Got to bring your coaching stats. Carol right in front.
There's Ward Manuel up in the back with the sunglasses on. You got to believe that there's going to be some effort to make sure Eric Bakich maybe has a new contract after this season. He certainly will be a man in demand. Franklin singled his first time up. Checks his swing. Fellows bearing down a little bit. Got a big out there with 2 men on and nobody down.
This is a big spot right here. Jesse Franklin, first time up, first pitch fastball, singled out to center field. And for Drake Fellows, especially because who's on the mound on the other side. With how good Tommy Henry has been, got to try to get your club in there right now and keep it at 3.
Bounce, good job by Clark behind the plate to block it. Yes, you can. 1-2. Fellows been going to Vanderbilt games since he committed, so through his high school years, every chance he got, he loved the environment there. And this is a staff that's got a kid named Kumar Rocker. If you haven't seen him pitch, all he did during this tournament was throw a no-hitter against Duke at a super regional at home. He struck out 19. He will be on the mound in game 2. And this is going to bring a run in. It's fielded by the shortstop, Ethan Paul, 4-0. As Franklin brings him in with a slow roller.
Good work by Jesse Franklin right there. You get to a 2-strike count. The middle infield's all the way back. They were playing Franklin to the shift, so if you hit anything on the ground towards the middle and it gets past Fellows on the mound, that will score a run. It did right there. Donovan realizing that, going on contact when he sees the ball down, and Michigan with 2 in the first, 2 in the second, out 4-0.
Most importantly, this will be his 50th pitch of the game, making him work.
Jordan Brewer bats late on a fastball. This is a kid who is just infectious with his personality. Oh, 1-1. Talked about this season in that Big Ten tournament and the worry about Illinois, and after they won that game, said the team collectively kind of looked over at each other and said, look, no more little boy ball. It's time to play big boy ball. Bakich felt it. The entire team felt it. Call strike 1-2.
Talking to Eric Bakich, he said that's where we changed from playing not to lose to now playing to win. And when Michigan showed up here, and I heard numerous people say it on Friday when everybody practices, they were as loose as anybody. And they've been as loose as anybody through this entire run of the postseason. Nothing has changed.
Took 2 of 3 from Creighton. They won the Corvallis region. They knocked off the #1 overall seed UCLA in the Supers at Jackie Robinson Stadium. This one hit hard, and that's caught in the air by Ethan Paul. Brewer turned it around, but 2 more runs come in. Wolverines 4. Vanderbilt comes to the bat, bottom of the second, looking for their first hit.
I've had so much fun watching y'all. I mean, it's been a blast. It's one of the best teams I've ever seen. Just keep doing what you do. You're prepared for this moment.
Remember, you got the keys. Make sure you lock the door when you leave. Go get them. Anchor down.
Good luck, guys. Enjoy it. Have fun. Can't wait to watch you guys win it all.
Good luck. Go get them. Leave it all on the field.
Anchor down. Bring another national championship back to Nashville.
It's funny, you look at all those guys, Kyle, and it feels like they've been great for a long time, which isn't really the case.
There was 0 postseason history before Tim Corbin got. I mean, 0. There was none. And since then, and especially in the last decade, Vanderbilt has been as consistent as any program in this entire country.
All right, so we'll start at the bottom of the second. Philip Clark, Pat DeMarco, Steven Scott. Henry, first pitch. That one's a hit. And Vanderbilt got a runner on in Philip Clark. First pitch swinging, maybe a approach change for Vandy.
You know, Tommy Henry's going to be around the zone. Exactly. That's the absolute. He didn't walk anybody in his first start when he went 9 shutout innings. 1, 2, 3 first where he was around the zone. The one thing he did in that first, he hadn't thrown a ball yet tonight. The one thing he did in his first start here, used the fastball a lot the first time through the order, and then went to the off-speed stuff second, third, and fourth time through the order. We'll see if Vanderbilt makes him change that approach at all tonight. That was a fastball there that Clark hit.
This is Pat DeMarco, the center fielder out of Staten Island, New York. First pitch popped up. Donovan. Oh, he was there. He looked down to see the wall, and then it went off the heel of the glove.
Seemed like his shin guard was caught in the dirt. Watch when he slides right here. That left shin guard just stuck the landing.
Yeah, it didn't slide with him, and it goes off the heel, which gives another life to DeMarco, who twice has been drafted by the New York Yankees. He's a sophomore. Yankees have a single-A affiliate right in Staten Island. You got to believe more than likely Pat DeMarco coming back to Vanderbilt. 0-1. This one pulled down the line, and it is going to go foul.
They're not wasting any time at all.
Time they've heard that word, ball.
5th hitter of the game. It's the first ball that Tommy Henry's thrown.
And it's by design.
It's intentional, yes.
By design, raise the eye level to try to go back, down, and away.
.90-mile-an-hour fastball. DeMarco is retired. Second strikeout for Tommy Henry. Once again, we go Omaha to the Bigs, and not only Omaha, but Jackie Bradley Jr. and South Carolina played the final year of Rosenblatt. Then they came over here and helped open up to the Ameritrade. He goes deep for White Sox. Final year of Rosenblatt. Then they came over here and helped open up to the Ameritrade. He goes deep for White Sox. Got a 2-1 lead over the Red Sox.
JBJ caught the final out in that second national title right here, and there's the guy that was calling all the signals. Ray Tanner, then the head coach of South Carolina, now the athletic director, heads up the selection committee for the NCAA. He's a perfect guy to have in that role. He knows this game and cares about this game so much.
Slider to start Steven Scott off, the left fielder. Senior, 5'11", 200. The Red Sox picked him in the 10th round. Hometown of Cary, North Carolina. 8 homers his last 17 games. And we're trying to live inside on the lefty.
outfield playing very deep. This is what they've done the entire College World Series.
Scott's, like many of these kids, been up Cape Cod to play in that Cape Cod Summer League, but having been drafted by the Red Sox, I asked him if he'd ever been to Boston. Nope.
A good time to visit first. Get called up to the big leagues.
2-1. This is a jam shot heading down the line. It's going to go foul by about 10 feet.
Remember, the exit velocity against Florida State was very good for him. Everything was down. Saw a lot of jam shots, a lot of balls off the end of the bat. And right now, Michigan outfield, especially Bullock in left field now, is being moved in because they're realizing not a lot of barrels have been found so far. He's dealing with that sun also.
Spoils one. Good job by Scott. This ballpark's given up 17 home runs in this College World Series. Guy's got a couple. 2-2, and he buried him. Boy, he gave Henry 2 strikes to work with. It's not a fun time to be a hitter. That's his 3rd strikeout of the night. Sunday, Major League Baseball, taking America's pastime across the pond, will be in London. A 2-game set. Red Sox and Yankees. The field being referred to as the ballpark in a box after MLB built the entire park on top of an armored deck that protects the West Ham UFC pitch underneath. Red Sox and Yankees live from London Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern time on ESPN and the ESPN app. That means an early baseball tonight. Mark Teixeira and I heading over there. Looking forward to that trip. That should be incredible. The ballpark looks fantastic, whether it's on a soccer pitch or not. And both games sold out. Strike 1 to Harrison Ray. So Major League Baseball has taken its act, obviously, here to Omaha this year. It's been to Fort Bragg, and now it's going to London.
I hope they pack them in, because if not, those baseballs are going to be lost in all those white seats, and you know they will.
Couple of no-hitters. You think we're going to have no-hitters?
That's right. All we need shadows with it. It'll be perfect.
That's the pitcher's eye, not the batter's eye.
As it should be.
My parents are on a plane right now on the way over there, and you will be soon.
Looking forward to that.
That'd be a cool one, right?
That will be. Really lucky to go over there. And the Red Sox and Yankees, they've already announced that the Cardinals and Cubs will go next year. Harrison Ray looking for his first hit at the College World Series. On the ground to third. It's stopped by Nelson, but going to eat it. That one was hit hard, and Ray reaches.
That's Michigan State's philosophy, though. Usually, if you play normal in the corners, that ball's a double. What Michigan does right here is they always play no doubles down the line and also in the outfield. Prevents the big inning. Now you have runners at first and second. Yes, he didn't field it cleanly, but still you have the double. You have the force out at third, second. Still available with 2 outs.
So Ray does get his first hit, and here's Ty Duvall. One thing about this Vanderbilt team, while Blade hasn't hit the homers, it seems like an all year long to the tune of 57 wins. Everybody has contributed at one point or another. Now it's Duvall's turn as he fouls that first pitch back.
It's a lineup that has 3 seniors, 3 juniors, 3 sophomores. So it's guys that have been around Vanderbilt's program for a while. Duvall, the junior, will catch or DH depending on who's on the mound. You've got a senior in Infante in the 9-hole that has real power. 12 home runs on the year for Julian Infante.
Junior out of Lebanon, Ohio, the DH. That's a good pitch. 0-2. Eddie, all right, you play the role of hitter against Henry when you get 2 strikes against you. What are we doing?
You protect. You look away, and you can't be afraid to get jammed in. He will throw that slider at will. He will throw that changeup against lefties also. We saw it a few days ago.
Came in with a single season record 127 strikeouts at Michigan. He's got 3 tonight. And he just misses, picking up his 4th.
I love it. Love what he's doing. He's just trying to get a little bit more on the outside part. Again, by design. See, the hitter will extend the zone.
There's nothing wrong with doubling up here either. Going back to that exact same one. Duvall lays off 0-2. I'd make him lay off it twice.
Okay, Philip Clark down there at second, Ray at first. Vanderbilt down 4-0 here early. Big chance for Duvall with a hit to get a run.
Close. He's trying. And I like what they do with 2 outs. The opposite field outfielder, in this case the left fielder Bullock, charging in, playing a few steps close to the warning track.
Left field is a dangerous field right now for the outfielder. The sun is right in the eye of the left fielder if the ball gets put up in the air out there. This time Duvall goes into right center. It gets down. Brewer comes home. He go to second instead. Vanderbilt on the board. Bottom of the order delivers. Duvall an RBI.
What a great piece of hitting by Ty Duvall. Laid off some nasty pitches away. Watch this. This is him at work right here. He lays off that pitch with 2 strikes. Lays off then the fastball away. And now this time, slider away, stays on it, base hit, drives in 1, and now runners at the corner.
And you get some thunder down here, 22. Julian Infante, the senior out of Miami, Florida. 12 homers on the season. That one gets by. Coming in from third is Ray, and that's a second run for Vanderbilt. Big break right there for the Commodores. They cut the lead in half.
It's a rough one right there. It's a first pitch changeup. They're trying to get Infante all the way out in front. Donovan just missed it. Happens sometimes. Maybe unsure if that ball's going to hit the dirt, if he can catch it in the air. Goes off the edge of his glove to the backstop, and Vanderbilt adds another one.
Talked earlier about the shadows, how tough it is with the hitters, also with the umpires and the catchers. Already 2 passed balls in this game, 1 for each team.
So Duvall into scoring position for Infante, who's ahead 1-0. Fastball fouled off. A mask of Donovan. Got a piece of the corner, 1-2. All right, against Louisville, it was Infante who struck out, and then there was all sorts of chatter going off the mound. Louisville, and a lot of the guys came to the defense of Infante, who's been a senior leader on this team, and they all kind of got his back in that situation. He buried him with a slider, and it picks up his 4th strikeout of the night. But Vanderbilt's made a little game here. We're only in the bottom of the second. It's 4-2 Michigan. For coverage of the College World Series, interactive brackets, go to NCAA.com. Got some shots of the great city of Omaha. The folks here open their arms to all of us on the ESPN crew, whether it be the restaurants and our good buddy Mo, or the golf courses, Oak Hills and Shadow Ridge. Kyle's hosted some people. It's been a special couple of weeks here, and every time you come here, you are made to feel like you are one of the Omaha natives. It's really, really fortunate. Kerr, who the other night, you didn't see it, bunted on his own in the shift. He just tried to do it again. It was not called for by Bakich or anyone else. He did it on his own.
Especially if he's leading an inning off. If you're leading an inning off and they're going to give you, in this case, a single, not 2 strikes, I'm sure he won't do it here. But I love the move.
I thought that was actually the biggest hit they had against Texas Tech. That started a rally, a big inning. Now with 2 strikes, he won't do it.
Kerr, the hottest hitter, now has been struck out twice in a kind of important inning for Fellows to shut him down after your offense just got you 2.
And that's an important out because he had walked the leadoff man in the first inning. He had walked the first 2 guys in the second inning. The last inning, both came around to score. This time comes right back to get Kerr with a fastball. Bottom part of the zone. Good carry on that fastball from Drake Fellows. Second strikeout of the night. It's a first out here in the 3rd.
One to Blake Nelson, single and an RBI his first time up, a 300 hitter. 1 homer for the 3rd baseman. All right. That was quickly ahead, 0-2.
Now he's hitting with his fastball. He was not doing that early in the game.
He will usually find it. You don't pitch on Friday nights for 2 straight years for Vanderbilt if you don't have the ability to find it. When he does, you can look up in about an hour and a half, and Fellows may still be standing out there. So back-to-back strikeouts, that one on the fastball.
3rd strikeout of the night. This week we have the Major League Baseball teams here in Omaha. And, of course, one of the big stories was that guy, Whit Merrifield of the Royals. He, of course, had a huge walk-off hit in a win for South Carolina in 2010. Then he spent a couple of years here in the minor leagues before he got promoted. Talked about how, you know, it was the highs and the lows. And the lows don't have anything to do with the city of Omaha, obviously. But it was the idea that I just walked off in a World Series and I'm trying like heck to get to the major leagues. And now that he's there,
he's made it stick.
He's been tremendous. Bullock asked for time and never moved. Like he just dug in. You know. 94-2 on that fastball from Fellows. This a little different picture this inning, boys.
Body language says it all, so making those pitches with conviction.
And the rhythm.
Yes.
The rhythm is back. He didn't really have a lot of rhythm in the first 2 innings. Now it's just get it and go. Elevated fastball there. Probably come back with a slider right here. Try to throw it underneath the bat of Bullock.
See you later. Strikes out the side. Drake Fellows a lot better. He's got a couple of runs, and here comes the top of the order for Vanderbilt at the World Series. Hope you're enjoying this College World Series. How they got here. Kumar Rocker. 1 earned, 6 Ks, and then, of course, was after he struck out 19, threw a no-hitter in the Super Regional. His fastball and slider are ridiculous. Austin Martin, Stephen Scott, both with a couple of home runs in the College World Series, and Vanderbilt never lost. They did have a 9th-inning comeback win against the Cardinal that was charged with emotion. And they got a chance to celebrate for the 3rd time since 14. They're in the College World Series Finals. Start off the 3rd with the top of the order. Austin Martin, J.J. Bleday, and Ethan Paul. Here's a guy in Martin that scouts love. And if Bleday was the number 4 overall pick, Martin has a chance to be a top 5 pick next year. That's going to get down. Good effort there by Jimmy Kerr.
The only question for Martin is where you're going to play. I mean, the feet work, the hands work. Obviously, I think the power is going to continue to show up. Third base this year has been good, not great. Hadn't been at that position, but for this year. They may put him in the middle of the diamond next year at shortstop. You could play him in the outfield. He's so athletic, you can put him wherever you want. But the hands and the feet really work at it.
At the next level, it's actually a blessing in today's game that you can play so many positions. And his ability to be able to play up the middle also and in the outfield is going to play big. But what plays really well is his bat.
Rip that one, and that's going to get down. He waited on that, and Austin Martin is aboard. All of a sudden, Vanderbilt's playing with the momentum.
You talk about Henry in the scouting report. Let's not forget what he was able to do against Florida State. 1-0, 2-1. He would go with the changeup. This time, changeup stays up in the zone, making it a lot easier for Martin to be able to keep that ball on a line off the bat.
And here's J.J. Bleday, the junior, who has taught all the players, guys like Martin, how to be focused. He had a lot of distractions this year, did Bleday. This one is popped up. Donovan coming back again, up against the screen, and that time he's able to make the catch. So a big out there for Henry to retire Bleday.
Tell you what, J.J. Bleday, 2 at-bats tonight. Rollover ground ball to first base. And this one, when you get Austin Martin on, you got Bleday coming up behind him. This is where this Vanderbilt offense, especially with nobody out when Bleday came up right there, can be so dangerous. But there's a lot of foul territory here. We dumped a little popcorn. Joe Donovan goes back and makes a play, and he didn't have too much to spare.
Here's Ethan Paul, had the huge hit against Louisville. Line shot down the line and right. Scored Bleday. Fastball pulled in for a strike. One of the reasons that Martin may be moved to the middle of the diamond of the outfield is they're going to have to find a shortstop, as Paul, of course, is senior. So you got a lefty on the mound, and you got a lot of lefties in the lineup, and yet the splits for Vanderbilt offensively against lefties, like identical. There is just no difference in their numbers, whether it's a lefty on the mound or a righty on the mound.
And I understand what you say, but this isn't just any typical left-handed pitcher.
That's true.
He can dominate with both off-speed pitches and uses the corners really well.
We're trying to keep an offense that is 7th in Division I in scoring, 8+ runs a game. Ball.
Pretty good 0-2 right there. Slider that looked like it just may have clipped the bottom of the zone.
9 home runs on the season. This one, Henry may have deflected it, but it goes to the shortstop, and it's, wow, what a scoop around by Jimmy Kerr.
Tell you what, and it is not easy to make this decision. It looked like Tommy Henry intentionally let that ball go through. He knew they're pinched up the middle. Watch the glove. Goes to field it and pulls it back right at the last minute. That allows the double play to happen. Jack Blackburn takes it from there. It's 4-2 Michigan.
Welcome back to the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. Tim Corbin joining me. And Drake Fellows a different guy that last inning. What did you see from his stuff from the first to the third inning?
Rhythm and pace. I thought he was tentative. He didn't get on top of him right away, and because of that, he found himself in tough counts and a couple of free bases, and they took advantage of it.
What is it about him that gave you the confidence that he'd find that command?
Well, he's done that before. He's kind of a bend but not break type of kid, and usually as he gets going, he starts to get into better rhythm, and start throwing pretty well.
You've never faced Michigan, but you obviously know Bakich very well. What's the challenges when you know a guy's style to game plan against him?
Well, I think, you know, if I look at it in terms of their pitching more than anything else, I mean, I think we got to break down their pitching somehow. And Henry's throwing a pretty good fastball up there. It's getting in on the hitters. It's got some life at the end of it, and we're going to have to break him down.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
17 years he's been at Vanderbilt. And Fellows now starts this by getting behind 2-0 and a fastball into Jake Blumgren. Bromden's a kid. If you look at that pinky on his left hand, he broke it in the regionals, and then the trainer couldn't pop it back in. So he said, well, I got an idea. Just tape it up, and I'm just going to go with it. And it's still broken. I mean, it looks. Remember Larry Bird in a three-point shooting contest, after he won it, he would stick his hand up and the fingers just weren't straight, especially the pinky. The athletic trainer for Michigan got a big round of applause the other night after Jordan Wogu face planted between second and third, and she went over to help bandage him up and put some antiseptic on the cut. Standing O from the bench.
She wasn't a huge fan of this team.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't like that. This is going to be a tough play. Martin charges and no throw. Blumgren flew down the base pass. That's going to be an infield hit. And for the third time in 4 innings, the leadoff man is aboard for Michigan. So a lot of talk about Eric Bakich. You know, one of the things that even he acknowledges, and the players certainly do, is over a period of time he becomes a little looser with the way he does things. He has talked about giving the keys to the players and letting them do some things that perhaps early on there he wouldn't do. And one of the things that he did is, if the team collectively had a 3.0 GPA, you could then have facial hair or long hair. And that was much to the delight of Joe Donovan, the hitter, who in high school never cut his hair. And then he kind of cut it a little bit, but he's allowed to let it go if he wants to. And that's a new Eric Bakich way of thinking. Now, Bakich has his own kids, and I wonder about the influence that they have on him. But this is a kinder, gentler Eric Bakich, providing you get your GPA.
I was going to say, that'll make you go to class now.
Right.
Something that you want. What's impressed me, I think, the most about Eric and the time that they've been here, and really it's this entire Michigan team, is how consistent they've been with what's got them. I mean, there's no wow factor with the surroundings. There's no wow factor with who they're playing. There's an expectation that regardless of what last 4 in or whatever it was, we belong here. And they have looked from the minute that they showed up in Omaha like they belong here.
It's a team that finished a half game out in the Big Ten. Indiana finished 17-7. But all of their numbers, advanced or old school, they led the conference in average, on base, slugging percentage, runs, hits, walks, doubles, stolen bases, even sacrifice flies, to the delight of Tim Kurkjian. And the David and Goliath thing, this was a team that was in the top 20 preseason.
Absolutely.
You know, and they've talked all along through the interviews that we do with them. Like, we knew we had this in us. We just weren't necessarily doing it.
They have 49 wins.
Exactly.
I mean, Michigan was not to win 50 ball games this year. That's a big number in college baseball.
So the frustrations and the ups and downs, but obviously to get here, you're playing your best at the right time. And from that Illinois game and the regionals and Big Ten tournament, they've been playing their best baseball.
And that's when Eric Bakich told the team, play like you want to play forever. And I think ever since that moment.
This one is through. How about that rollover from Donovan? And once again, Michigan starts knocking on the door here with the leadoff man aboard.
And when you play with that attitude, you go up there, and you really, we had mentioned it earlier, playing to lose, playing to win, they're just playing. and they're having a lot of fun at it. And when you hear the noise in the tunnel coming from the clubhouse, you always know out of the 8 teams that were here, they have been the loudest consistently every time they're here at this ballpark.
Well, we've been in this situation before. In the second inning, Blumgren and Donovan both walked. In this case, Blumgren and Donovan both singled. K.O. Thomas came up. They tried to bunt him. He didn't get that done, and then he singled into left to bring in a run. Phone call down to the bullpen. Raby loosens again. Thomas squares again. Ball 1. There's a lot of different numbers on that. You can just see how much writing's on that card.
Yeah, there is. It's complicated, but it's just not the average signs of bunt, hit and run, steal. There's a lot that goes into it.
Thomas, that's going to go foul. It's fielded in foul territory by Martin.
And I like the idea. You bunt it to third base. You make sure Austin Martin is the one that goes after the baseball to clear third. Get the runner there without a problem. Doesn't have to be perfect down the line. Eric Bakich gives the signs, and he'll give sequences to the hitter and the base runner. Usually 3 number sequences. That goes all the way from 000 to 699.
1-1. Any thought to Thomas squaring, and then Blumgren steals as Martin charges? Gets that down. There's only one play. That's to first. Fellows throws him out, but the runners move up. So this is game 1, best 2 of 3 as K.O. Thomas gets some high fives. College World Series continues 7 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock local time with game 2. It'll be Kumar Rocker and Vandy. Very comfortable with him. Michigan, depending on the way this game plays out, feels like Jeff Criswell would come in to close this game, or he would start game 2, depending on what this game.
If Michigan has the lead and it's close, we will see Criswell late. If margin of lead at that point is enough, Eric Bakich is willing to maybe take a chance, go to somebody else, so be it. They would start Criswell tomorrow.
They've used only 3 pitchers, which feels like a luxury. But what happens when you have to use pitcher number 4 or 5, even if they've been good during the regular season and up until this point? They haven't pitched in like 2 weeks.
You don't know, but ultimately you're 3-0 and you're here.
Yeah.
So I think you'll roll the dice and figure that one out if they get to that point.
I like what Corbin is doing right now with his defense. You have the corners in, middle, back. 2 runners in scoring position right now. You don't want the big inning, anything to get through. And he's telling his team right now that, yes, we're down 2, but offensively, we can come back from this. There's a lot of game left. If his team was struggling offensively, they'd all be in.
Wogu is your designated hitter. He's played some outfield, but he's your leadoff hitter. He's a designated hitter tonight. Hitting over 320, 14 doubles, 4 triples, 12 homers. Freakish athlete. Lefty Zach King is warming in that Vanderbilt bullpen now, throwing pretty hard.
I think the most impressive part of Wogu is his on-base percentage. Came into this game on-base percentage of .440.
See a lot of that when they meditate, they breathe, look at the bat, kind of get zoned in and focused. Won't chase, 3-2.
It's a good take. That's a good take because that's the one that Drake Fellows wants you to swing at. It's that slider that starts in the zone and then falls down and out of the zone. Now Wogu's worked it back to a 3-2 count. First base open, 1 out here. You could absolutely see another slider.
And this will be the 83rd pitch of the game for Fellows.
about that. I think he was thinking along with you, and he protects the zone.
Those are some quick hands now. In talking to Michigan's coaching staff, when Wogu came in last year, his freshman fall, they weren't quite sure if he was going to play at all his freshman year. Huge strides from that point to when they got into the regular season last year as a freshman. They put him into pinch run. Then the instincts take over. Steal second, steal third, double thumbs up to the bench. We may have something here, and they do have something here. They've got a kid that's just going to continue to get better. That's twice he's taken it out of Philip Clark's glove. One with a fastball, the other with a breaking ball.
That's the emergency hack right there.
Jordan Brewer chuckling. This is a guy, Jordan Wogu, who went to Michigan on an engineering scholarship. Both his parents are at the university. Fouls off another one.
This is a great at-bat right now. The way he's been able to foul pitches off, lay off a 2-2 pitch. Let's just 4D replay here. How deep this ball got to Wogu. It's behind the right leg.
This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. Among the videos he used to get better, Albert Pujols, Aaron Judge, Justin Upton. Jam shot right back. They'll have no play at third, and Fellows fires to first. And a big second out here to try to avoid Michigan scoring another run.
It's a big pitch right there, because you go leadoff single to start this inning. Two guys on. Thomas Zach bunts him over. And at a time when Fellows needed to make a pitch, he went back to the fastball. Crowded Wogu right there, tied him up. Base runners couldn't go anywhere.
Scott Brown's going to come on out one more time and talk to Fellows. Say this about Tim Corbin, whether it's Eric Bakich or Brown or Johnson, he can find a coach for you. One of them's now in the major leagues.
Yes. Derek Johnson, a pitching coach for the Cincinnati Reds. Josh Holliday, the head coach at Oklahoma State. Scott Brown, you would feel like, is going to get an opportunity to be a head coach here fairly quickly, or the major league side will definitely come calling at some point too. Now, whether or not that's a decision that he wants to make, we'll see. But he fits the profile of the type that major league programs are going and looking at now from the college side.
So second and third, Jesse Franklin. Fellows kind of walking a tightrope here. Struck out the side in the third. After giving up 2 in the first and 2 in the second. Henry stays loose. Franklin, then Brewer if they get to him. Brewer's hit it hard twice. Got a double, then a line out to the shortstop.
River is that, Rev? What do you got?
I like to call it the Mighty Miss, but it's not for Mississippi. It's the Mighty Missouri River.
Captain Geography. Nailed it.
And that's the Bob Carrot pedestrian bridge. That's TD Ameritrade.
He's been in town for a few weeks. He's starting to nail them all now.
A few years. Slow roller Ray playing deep fields, and they'll get out of it. Nice job by Fellows. Couple leadoff singles left on. Heading to the bottom of the fourth. 4, 5, 6 coming up. All right, so we focused on the major leaguers that were in Omaha. Here are the future major leaguers that were in college this year. The #1 overall pick, Adley Rutschman, the Orioles, just signed a deal for $8 million. Andrew Vaughn out of Cal, maybe the best hitter, who went #3. J.J. Bleday out of Vanderbilt, #4 to the Marlins. The Reds love Nick Lodolo, the left-hander out of TCU. They took him #7. We saw Josh Young That's a big man there. He goes number 8. Another catcher, Shea Langoliers out of Baylor. Atlanta picked him number 9, and Hunter Bishop. Giants liked him. Arizona State. Little $8 million signing for Adley Rutschman.
It's a pretty good year for Adley Rutschman. From this time last year until this time right now. Most outstanding player of the College World Series last year. Wins a national title. Wins the Golden Spikes. Is a National Player of the Year this year and signs for $8 million.
It's got it all.
It's okay.
Check, check, check. It's a lot of crab cakes in Baltimore when he gets there. Changeup. And the thing about Rutschman, too, he joined us in the booth after he won the Golden Spikes. He'd never been to Baltimore. I mean, he was the presumptive #1 pick for a while, and Baltimore was going to be the team to take #1. Never been there. But if you think about Adley Rutschman and you comp him to a current major leaguer, the easy one is Posey because of all the things he does, but he may do more than Posey. Switch hitter.
Switch hitter, power, can really catch and throw. Runs his own game, did for the most part at the college level this year. It's what turns you into the #1 overall pick.
It's always fascinating to watch these guys progress through the minors to the majors, how quickly it happens. That one's on the ground, and Thomas is there to make the play. Looking at one of the more polished people, I think, to have left college. Not just players, but people.
Look at that. I like that comp. Bob Horner. Bob Horner went straight to the big leagues, too, didn't he? I don't think it's going to happen with Adley Rutschman.
Well, you're right.
But Horner went straight to the big leagues. Most outstanding player in '77 for Arizona State. Won the Golden Spikes, #1 overall pick. The other thing, too, we showed some of the collegiate draft picks early in the first round. Never before in a major league draft have more college players been taken on a percentage basis. And that has been the story for probably the last 6, 7, 8 years, to where every year major league side is turning so much more to the collegiate player.
There's more data.
Yes.
You get to see them a lot more, and guess what? They know how to live away from home. I think that's a big key with a lot of organizations. That's that 1-0 off-speed pitch that he's gone to, and it's one of the first misses he's had.
You got cameras everywhere. Look at that. I like that look. Scotty Johnson getting artistic tonight. Wow.
So is that plane on plane crime right there?
That is. You know what's right over there? There it is. The mighty miss. Missouri. There it is right there. It was gone.
And on the other side of the mighty miss is what?
That would be Iowa.
Good boy.
You guys are good.
Eddie jogs over that now. That's the Bob Carey pedestrian bridge. Takes you right into Iowa. In fact, there's a line of demarcation right in the middle of that bad boy.
Eddie screams elliptical.
Uh-oh, got him.
I'm out first base.
Henry with the hit batter. DeMarco goes down to first.
That's Henry's third hit batsman this College World Series. When he misses way in. See that reaction right there that he had?
Number 17 has already found his way down to the dugout. He's been phenomenal. You got two really great guys to close games in this game. Brown for Vanderbilt, who has saved all 3 of the College World Series games, and that guy who's really a starter. I mean, there's a very much of a similarity between what we watch a lot of the Major League Baseball teams do when they get into the postseason. It ends up with some starters closing games, and that's what they've done with Criswell.
I think ultimately Michigan looked at it and said, who are our best 3 or 4 arms? And let's make sure that we pitch them the most. And it's what they've done. Criswell was big in a relief role against UCLA in the Super Regional. Obviously has been big in that same role here. If he doesn't pitch today, we will see him start game 2.
Huge crowds all series long. And tonight, no exception at all. The place is jammed, and standing room only is deep around the outfield. You know, we've seen pitching coaches go from college to the major leagues. Do you think at some point we'll see coaches jump right to major league manager positions?
I don't know why they wouldn't. Now, it's not to say that we'll see it. I don't know if we will. But the same principles hold for pitching coach, hitting coach as it does for a head coach.
Hey, check out your outfielder.
Yes, it's a different game. You're dealing with men.
The grind is different.
The grind is very different. I would agree.
Pitchers hit in the National League, which is another consideration. If you're a National League team, do you take somebody that hasn't dealt with pitchers hitting and all that?
Let me just ask you this. Would you take Tim Corbin as a major league manager? I'd take him every day.
I would consider both of these guys.
Well, without a doubt, yes. Yeah. Without a doubt.
Franklin in the sunshine is there to make the play. We got the Giants coming up next, and that just for people that want to know what inside the clubhouse at the major league level looks like. Get some leather chairs. That's Mike Yastrzemski. And he is checking out Eduardo, watching the College World Series. And a little bit of ump cam for him.
There it is. Approximately 30 minutes ago. Pretty good. Taking batting practice right now, most likely.
Paul Yastrzemski's son has been a spark plug for the Giants. Strike one to Harrison Ray, trying to bunt his way on. 2 men down, bottom 4. Best 2 out of 3 College World Series finals.
That one misses right there. But what's impressed me the most about watching Tommy Henry these last few starts and really in the postseason is just how much he simplifies things. It's 3 pitches. He can throw them at any time. The fastball goes up, down, in, and out. And he doesn't try to do what he's not capable of doing. He's very comfortable with his stuff, pitches within it. He's had so much success.
Not a good pitch, but he swings at it to even up the count. 2-2.
He was committed. To swinging at that pitch before it was even thrown. That ball, as soon as it was left out of Henry's hand, you could tell it was going to be a ball down. There we go.
Got multiple flavors going there. Kind of a red, white, and blue theme. See that, Eddie? Red on the left, blue in the middle.
I like it.
Time!
Yeah, we're just got a rainbow.
Emptied the tank right there. We're not done yet.
That screams.
Sure. Screams all night long.
He has not had command of that changeup as well as he did the other day. That changeup, he's been leaving it away. It's been sinking. Has not been able to throw it for strikes the last couple innings.
That's usually his best off-speed pitch. The changeup is the one that Tommy Henry is usually the most comfortable with. What he has had is the slider. The slider he has had control of all night.
On the ground to third, fair ball. Ray retired by Blake Nelson. So they had one on, they get none across. But it is a perfect night for ice cream. It's a perfect night for a boat ride. It's a dynamite night for a baseball game in the Midwest, Omaha, Nebraska. Look from above as we welcome you back to the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. Chris Budden down on the field. We got Kyle Peterson, Eduardo Perez, and I'm Carl Ravitch. It's 4-2 Michigan after scoring 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Things have settled down here a little bit in the third and the fourth. I mentioned it's about 80 degrees. This Michigan team often practices when it's 50 or 60 degrees colder than that. That didn't always sit well with Jordan Brewer. Didn't really sit well with many of the guys. But their coach, Eric Bakich, made sure that they recognized as his own children do when they get a letter from the schools. Hey, if it's 32 or above, we're going to strap on some gloves and some hats and winter coats, and we're going outside. And he said to his players, if they can go outside, we can go outside. There was a day that it was about 30 degrees. And Bakich, in an effort to show these guys it's more a state of mind than anything else, ripped off all the clothing on the top to the point where he was standing out there in the freezing cold with the shirt off. And that led this guy, Jordan Brewer, to say, Eric Bakich, he's crazy. The man is crazy.
He's one of ours.
This week he ran a 5K here in Omaha at 24:56. And then during our meeting he checked and he found out he actually had run a little quicker. He was on an 8:02 pace. Down on that pace he was. But he did talk about the Omaha Heartbreak Hill, you know, around mile 2. Just running straight uphill. And
no one had told him about that.
It taxed him a little.
Don't look at me. I'm not running a 5K. I'm not. No, I couldn't have told him about that. I couldn't have told him about that.
Kerr left field. You see Scott trying to block the sun with the glove. Now he moves into the shade with the ball. And Drake Fellows, 2 quick outs here in the 5th.
Needs that too. Efficiency important right now for Fellows. That's a 94th pitch.
Talk about 2 different tales. Early on in the game, he was looking for it. Hitters were taking advantage of it. So couldn't leave anything down. Everything was up. They were capitalizing on it. And then all of a sudden, here come the pitches down in the zone, getting swings and misses, soft contact. This is the guy with the body language that needed to be on the mound for Vandy. Look at the 4D replay here, Kyle. Looks pretty darn good to me.
Release point on the fastball all the way out in front that gets through it. And that's the key. When Fellows is controlling the fastball, then we can expand the zone with that slider. He's kept him in at 2, and it was wobbly for the first 2 innings, but you look up on the scoreboard, and Vandy just trails it by 2.
Another one down in the zone, and a wild swing from the third baseman, Blake Nelson.
Rav, to your point, too, about Michigan's weather. First game of the season this year was February 15th. They didn't play their first home game until March 14th. By the end of March, Michigan had only played 8 games at home. Vandy had played 22. That's the reality of a team in that area of the country. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer for you to figure out what you have, because you don't have the ability to get outside as much. As the season goes on, and we've seen it with Michigan, then you start to see what your real club is.
Yeah, the indoor facility, obviously with Michigan, you're sharing the sugar with a lot of other athletic teams. Sometimes the band is kind of nudging you out. You can't get into that indoor facility. A member of the Fab Five, Juin Howard, taking over the Michigan hoop program. Jalen Rose all in favor of that. And that's it. From 1-2 to 1-3. That's a strikeout. Second one of the 5th. We'll talk about the guy that ran the 5K. In fact, we'll talk to him. Chris Budden, Eric Bakich, when we return.
Welcome back to Omaha. Eric Bakich joining me. You put up 4 early, Coach. What was the mindset and the game plan against Drake Fellows early?
Well, I just wanted to attack the fastball and be able to recognize the slider, see it up. I thought our guys did a good job being ready to hit. And, you know, we had the base running mistake there in the first inning, but much rather have us making aggressive mistakes than timid ones. So, okay with that. But that cost us a run. But guys strung quality at-bats together, and now we got to cash in on these opportunities. We missed a scoring opportunity the other inning when we bunted them up and didn't score. But, you know, just got to keep stringing the QABs together and keep looking for scoring opportunities.
What do you love most about the personality of your team, especially since May 14th and you guys have been on the road on this run?
Well, it seems like that it took us that amount of time to find our identity, find our personality. And, you know, this group, we've been on the road for 6 weeks now, and, you know, we're having the time of our lives. I mean, they're smiling in here, they're laughing, they're having a blast. And we're just trying to shrink the moment to where, get the leadoff out, good. We're just trying to shrink the moment and just make it just a baseball game, and where we can immerse ourselves, you know, into each other and into this great opportunity that we have. So if we can make it just about baseball and go out and stay loose and compete as hard as we can, we hope good things will happen.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Ravi, 6 weeks on the road, only 3 days in their own bed.
Yeah. Although it's funny, one of the players had talked about how because they've been on the road so long, it allows them to have more of a routine. That you know when you're going to sleep, you know there's a team breakfast. 19 games in 4 states, a whole bunch of travel.
The other thing is you're with your club everywhere. I mean, once school gets out, you can do that anyway if you're at home. But when you're on the road, you're with your team. You're eating with your team. You're practicing with your team. You're with them nonstop. And I don't know that it's any giant surprise that everything started to click, especially from an identity standpoint. The other is the guy that Chris just talked to. Because the identity starts with your head coach. And if the approach is we're just trying to shrink the moment, they've done that. They've treated this run like they have the balance of the season.
I like that right there when he just said, so what? Don't let that affect you on the mound.
One to Infante, squared to bunt. Henry's hat flies off, and it's called strike 2.
I don't like that play for Infante. Show bunt right there. Already 1 out, 1-1 count. Want him to be able to swing the bat, and in that situation right there, he's going to get a fastball. And you see Coach Corbin, I don't think he liked it either. It's prone to the strikeout. Now 1-2. Could be set up for any breaking ball or off-speed pitch.
So, of course, the hotels that host these teams, in Henry's case, he's coming off of the flu and the pneumonia. So the idea that you're with your teammates the whole time, because he was sick, he's been alone in the room for a long time. He has no roommate.
Sometimes it's pretty cool.
He said
that may work out okay.
It can be, but then he said it's kind of boring a lot of the time.
You're talking to yourself a little bit.
Knocking on doors. Anybody want to hang out?
That's the good thing about talking.
That's what usually happens.
Yeah.
Well, left-handed pitcher, it's just an ideal situation to be alone in the room because they tend to have conversations with themselves.
And then answer. And that's the best thing about talking to yourself. When you answer, you're always right. Here comes the changeup.
That's called strike 3 on the corner. 5th strikeout of the night for Henry.
Either a changeup, he got around a little bit, or a backdoor slider right here. Looks like a slider, trying to come back a little bit. And that's that pitch that a lot of times is Tommy Henry's 3rd best pitch. Tonight, Eddie, I think it's been his 2nd best pitch. He's gone to that one a little bit more comfortably than the change.
He's had more control with it. That changeup, he hasn't been as dependable. Now, will he find it? This is the type of pitcher that will do those adjustments within the game.
Here's where it's go time if you're Vanderbilt. 3rd time around the order. You're facing Henry. Now everybody's seen him. Martin singled his last time up.
Beats that one to the ground. Good charge by Blumgren, who throws across the diamond. And Martin is retired. Michigan fans enjoying a 4-2 advantage as we head to the 6th in Omaha.
It sounds like a party. It's gonna be a party to me. If it tastes like a party, shakes like a party, it's gonna be a party to me. Yeah, it feels like a party. It feels like a party to me.
Sure has felt like a party, and the weather certainly cooperating this evening. Game 2, Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Vanderbilt in Michigan, and then the doubleheader. Major League games following us. Dodger Giant piece coming up tonight, tomorrow night as well, Wednesday if necessary. Drake Fellis has thrown 99 pitches through 5 innings, and Tommy Henry has thrown 65. Christian Bullock will lead things off in the 6th, and that one does not get a piece of the zone up high, even it up 1-1. In the even innings, Blumgren has started the inning off in both the 2nd and the 4th. He'll bat 2nd in this one. Fellows good. Slider 1-2. First Big Ten team to reach the College World Series Finals since Ohio State in '66. They won it all. That's called strike 3 at the knees, if not a little below, as Bullock expresses a little frustration. Back-to-back strikeouts. That's number 7 for Fellows. Omaha to the bigs. Somebody's hot tonight.
Did it again.
Michael Conforto, Oppo Power. And that's gone. It's amazing how well Conforto has hit on the road this year versus at home, as he does it again. And that game is tied 5-5. Slow roller here. Let's watch Martin field it. No chance. Blomgren reaches. He's been on base all 3 times tonight with a couple of singles and a walk.
Swing and bunt right here that works out for Michigan. Did this ball hit him? No, close. I thought it maybe hit him right off the bat. Blomgren puts his head down. That one just crawls off the glove of Martin when he comes in. Had one shot at it, and he doesn't field it cleanly. Blomgren standing on first base. See if Michigan gets active here.
That's a play Martin should make.
Absolutely.
That's a play he should attack. He should know without a problem. That was not a bad bounce at all. Short hop.
Michigan has had traffic on the bases in every inning but the 3rd. Blomgren's got 7 steals in 11 attempts this season. Donovan thought about laying one down. Martin is playing fairly deep at third base. Hotel lobby loaded today. A lot of folks checking in, as many of the teams obviously leave, and so do their fans, but you are full tonight. Hotels welcoming a lot of folks from the Nashville area and the alumni from around the country. A lot of maize and blue in the stands tonight.
It's a cool opportunity for that athletic department. Michigan hasn't been here in over 30 years, hasn't played in the finals in over 50 years, and you knew they were going to show up. There's a really good alumni base here in Omaha and around the Midwest, and I'm sure plenty are coming from all around the country to see this one.
Way wide, you can see Clark looking to his glove. Wasn't sure he had it. This is where a lot of the damage has been done for the Wolverines. Their 7 through 9 hitters are 4 for 4 with 2 runs and an RBI.
Tried to make that pitch better than the other one.
You can see those breaking balls that pitchers try to make break generally don't. And that was the movement right there for Fellows, to try to get too much over the top of it, and that ball kind of casts on him. It's the one that doesn't break.
Pulls that one, is blocked, but forget the chance to get Blomgren. And that one sails into center. Nice job by Ethan Paul. Like a defensive back, he intercepted the overthrow, and there was no advancement from Blomgren to third.
We've seen it. Seen Louisville do this. Now we're seeing Michigan do it. The base running, the block, he keeps it in front of him, but as soon as you read the trajectory of that ball, you see the jump at first, throw him as good as you can. Lundgren, 7 for 11 in stolen bases. This was definitely not one, but one in the dirt. He has the speed to get the second.
You know what I like in the fake steal, too, is when he put the brakes on, the momentum was not going back to first base. It was still lean out to second, so after that secondary, he could go on the minute he read it down in the dirt.
Donovan flies out to center. It's DeMarco there. They're 2 down with a runner in scoring position. So you have one school here, guys, in Vanderbilt that has consistency. Michigan is attempting to build that. What is the formula for building consistency? And how important is a trip to Omaha, Kyle, for that?
Say again, Rob, I'm sorry.
So how important is a trip to Omaha to help build consistency? What's the payback for Michigan by getting here?
It's immediate. And Eric Bakich talked about it a little bit today when we were meeting with him. Some guys take some phone calls that they maybe didn't take before from a recruiting standpoint. The other thing is now it's real. It's not the we can do it. Right. It's we have done it. And we know what the route is. We talked about it earlier during this College World Series with Michigan. I understand how long it's been and everything else. Eric Bakich is building a program. This doesn't feel like a 1 year, this is a really cool story. It feels like you're going to hear Michigan mentioned within that top 20 consistently, and it would not be surprising if you see him back here in the next 5 years.
Just imagine if you're on the other end of the call while you're watching the College World Series, in between games, days off, you get a call from Eric Bakich. If we had you here next year, we could definitely not only come back but win this thing. It's an impact to a young player, a young recruit.
Akeo Thomas, 3-0. He talked to us about Michigan sort of swam in the pool with like top 300 prospects, and all of a sudden some of the top hundreds that schools like Vanderbilt and others in the SEC get. Now you're going to maybe get 1 out of 5 of those guys versus 1 out of 15 every now and then. And there's got to be an appeal to be playing. I mean, there are kids that grow up all across the country, but hey, a Big Ten school like Michigan. I mean, I get to go to the big house and watch football when I'm not playing baseball.
Yeah, one of the top universities in the country.
Right.
And to add on to that, I don't think it's just big for Michigan, but it's also big for the conference itself. To have a representative here, it's been quite some time.
It happened. The last team was Indiana, and it was when they had Kyle Schwarber and came in and looked the part. When you saw Indiana, you went, yes. I mean, this is not a cool story. Illinois was close a few years ago. Purdue was close a few years ago. But yes, as an overall statement, it's a very positive one for baseball in the Big Ten.
So leadoff hitter up. Wogu's been kept in check. You think the conversation is it's time to go get him?
I would be surprised if he stays in. Tim Corbin's out there right now, and it immediately goes down, raises that left hand, and they'll go to King out of the bullpen. For Fellows, I'll tell you this. After the way that he looked in the first 2 innings, this is pretty good. You go out in the 6th inning, it's a 4-2 game because he had to find it. Never looked entirely comfortable over the course of it, but he's given Vanderbilt a chance.
Certainly has. All right. We got Zach King coming in the lefty. Fellows goes to the bench. 2 on, 2 down, top of the 6th, 4-2. All right, MLB is on the backside of us. Dave Fleming, Rick Sutcliffe, Tim Kirchen ready to call the Rockies and the Giants. I think I misspoke, said Giants Dodgers. That was last week. Rockies Giants this week. So Chuck Nasty getting ready to swing. And then back here, Michigan's leading Vanderbilt 4-2. If there's an Achilles heel for Vanderbilt, it's the bridge between starter and Brown, the closer. Drake Fellows went 5 2/3. He threw 1 fewer than his high, 116 pitches through 115. He struck out 7. That walk there to Akeo Thomas leads to the pitching change to Zach King.
Go to left-hander Zach King. Stuff is not the issue for King. It's a fastball that'll get into the low 90s. It's that walk number that is a little bit concerning. 22 walks in 38 innings this year for King. If it's in the zone, he goes out and has very good success. That comes on with 2 guys on and 2 out.
Tall, lanky pitchers, especially left-handed pitchers, early on around the 20, 21, 22 years of age have trouble being able to throw strikes, but once they find it, it gets nasty.
Top of the order, Wogu, the DH. Walked, grounded to third, hit it back to the pitcher. This is fourth time up. A sophomore out of Ann Arbor. I wonder what the hit tool will look like in a couple of years, Eddie, with Wogu, who's still a work in progress when it comes to baseball.
I take a chance on him because of the quick hands, but most importantly, the plate recognition.
Yep.
That's one thing that's difficult to teach. It comes with time, and he has not had a lot of reps, but he lays off some really tough pitches.
Well, Zach King has come in and thrown 2 balls.
I'd let him swing here. 3-0. Pitcher hasn't thrown a strike yet. If it's right down the middle, why not with that exit power that he has?
Telling numbers, starters, relievers, as Fisher and Raby warm for Vanderbilt. Dangerous spot, 3-1. Wow. A little late on that. Another 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and we're 3-2. DeMarco in center field is fairly shallow for a guy with the power that Wogu has. Strike 3, nasty pitch. He gets the strikeout. Zach King, after falling behind 3-0, Kyle comes back for the punch-up.
What Vanderbilt needed right now, they're still in this ball game. It feels like Michigan should be out in front more, but they're not. To the bottom of the 6th, still a 2-run game.
You're looking at Ann Arbor, Michigan, one of America's great college towns. Outstanding school, terrific downtown area. All sorts of alumni coming back, and according to our good buddy Mike Tirico, currently Ann Arbor resident, a lot of folks tailgating with their football buddies. About 700 miles to Omaha, and Chris Bugs was somebody who's made the trip.
Yes, I'm with Juan Howard now. Coach Howard, congratulations. You've only been on the job for a little bit. You're already with your peers trying to celebrate a possible national championship.
Chris, that's a home run off the bat of J.J. Blade, and that's the first one he's hit in Omaha, 27th of the year. Probably not what Juwan Howard wanted to see.
Well, bad timing here with the home run by Blade. What's this experience been like to be up here and celebrate and watch the atmosphere in Omaha?
It's been a great feeling for me personally. To be here to support the college baseball team. I'm so proud of the guys for the run they're having thus far. Unfortunately, with the home run, I think we will bounce back.
You've played in championship games. As a player, what's important to focus on and not let those nerves and the pressure take over in those moments?
Well, you have to stay locked in. You're going to have some ups and down moments in the ball game, but you just got to stay with the plan. You got to trust the plan and keep moving forward.
Coach Bakich the other day talked about recruiting so that it looks like the rest of America, pulling people from other cities in Detroit and Chicago. How does that kind of translate to your team as well?
Well, our team is based on guys banding together like brothers, no matter where you're from. We're looking at kids that they come from a small rural area. If they got talent, we're going to go recruit them. But, we have players not only from the Michigan area, but from Canada and all over the country. So our staff have been working extremely hard during the recruiting process of looking at many players throughout the country And we just want to find the best players that's best suited for Michigan.
Can you bring back that Fab Five feeling, Dan Arbor?
That's possible. We're going to bring back some good energy. But no, Coach Beilein did a phenomenal job, he and his staff, of building a winning program. And we want to continue with that tradition.
Good deal. Well, I'll let you cheer. I seem to be bad luck for you guys, so I'll get out of your sleep.
You're not bad luck. You're not bad luck.
Carl.
Thanks, Chris. No, I don't think that one's on you. It's like the accusations of ruining no-hitters when you mention it. And there's a whole host of college coaches in there. We saw the athletic director, Ward Manuel, in there. There he is in the background. But
Carol Hutchins up in the left-hand corner, the all-time winningest softball coach. Yeah, they brought a plane load down here today. I like it. Let's tell you something. Now, that move that J.J. Blade just made on that ball that he had out of sight is about as simple as you can see a left-handed move. It is pretty when it works, and that's the guy that leads the country in home runs.
And he even had told me before the game, he said around 8 o'clock is when you can start seeing the ball well. Well, it's 8:15 here right now, and
he was right.
He was on it.
And we got a one-run game as Philip Clark bats. Ethan Paul hit a rope to second. That was a pretty good play by Akeo Thomas to smother it. And this is a little different for Tommy Henry. He, of course, sailed through his last start. Now, all of a sudden, you got a one-run game. You had a 4-0 advantage. 71 pitches here, bottom 6. This one is lifted down the line in right and into the corner. Brewer will go, and he'll stop there and drift and make the play.
Guys, let's go back to that home run swing on 4D. Watch this thing from the backside. Puts the foot down. Bat head gets out in front. Look at the eyes. Straight on that baseball. Great balance throughout. And he knew it as soon as he hit it. Once again, foot down. Beautifully done. 10 days, 10 games without a home run. This time, J.J. Boudet takes care of business here in the CWS.
Now Pat DeMarco on the ground to short, deep in the hole. Blumgren, long throw, it's off the bag. Jimmy Kerr trying to hold the bag, but that's an error. And allows DeMarco to get to first and will extend the number of pitches for Tommy Henry.
Watch Blumgren right here. Stops and then has to start again. Crosses his body a bit. See the footwork on the throw. Watch that front leg. Puts it in front and across and does not open himself up. And the ball sails towards his right. No chance right there for Kerr to make the play and tag.
We've made a big deal out of it, but Michigan had not made an error in the College World Series. That's their first. Dangerous hitter up here, and Stephen Scott.
We talked about in the open about being able to play good defense. That's one thing that the Michigan team has been able to do. Right now, all of a sudden, let's see how they react from that error. Pass ball. Fortunately for them, there are 2 outs, but now there's a runner in scoring position. That ball was right down the middle.
Donovan having a little trouble there behind the plate tonight. Here's Stephen Scott again with an 0-1 count. In the dirt, that gets away. Now down to third base and having a hard time finding it is Joe Donovan. So he's picked up 120 feet without a ball being put in play.
Watch his right hand. I think this hit him in the throwing hand. Hand stays in front. Hit him right in that thumb area first and then off the shoulder.
And Chris Fetter, who used to be the minor league pitching coordinator of the Dodgers, comes out to the mound. Well, Joe Madden always talks about respecting the 90. There's some 90 feet that we've just added with a couple of mistakes.
So it's a slider right there in the dirt, and watch the break on that once it gets down there, and you can see Donovan trying to get all the way over the top of it. When you see sliders in the dirt, breaking balls in the dirt, they end up going the other way that you would think. So if that's a fastball, it's going to go the normal way. With the spin that it has coming in, it goes opposite. So as it comes down, you can see that ball shoot over the top of Donovan's right shoulder as Criswell starts to warm right now. You almost have to get higher on those because that ball is going to bounce higher when it comes in because of the spin the slider has on.
And do you try to move if you can? You know it's going to bounce that way, jump a little bit?
And you try to square up to home plate. So knowing that the ball is going to go sideways, you try to square your top half up to home plate. So if it does hit you in the chest protector, it doesn't go far.
This one towards foul territory. Hustling over there was Nelson, but he couldn't get it.
Now with the runner just 90 feet away from scoring. Let's see if the success of Henry has been to throw that changeup down, the slider down, not be afraid to throw it in the dirt. Already with a pass ball, wild pitch in this inning.
2 wild pitches according to the official score. So,
oh, the first one a wild pitch?
You
got to work on that one.
Yeah.
One, two. Ooh, that was right in Scott's wheelhouse.
I would score that in EOS.
Error on score?
That's right.
There is Bleudet. He's talked about how that home run power came with his time at the Cape Cod League. He too spent a ton of time working on that body of his. 27 homers, including 1 this inning.
There's that pitch in the dirt. Donovan made sure he kept that one in front.
Vandy trailed this thing 4-zip after 2. There's 4-2 and now 4-3. And with a runner at third, a big 2-2 pitch to Steven Scott. Chases it, and Henry shows a little emotion. He gets out of it with a slider.
J.J. Bleudet getting on the board right here with the Big Jack. Hawkins Field in Nashville. Oh yeah, they're loving it.
You're enjoying the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. Michigan and Vanderbilt. Game 1, best 2 out of 3 on a gorgeous night here in Omaha, Nebraska. We'll head to the 7th inning. J.J. Bleudet just blasted his 27th home run of the season. And we got Michigan Wolverine basketball royalty in the house tonight. We got a little hockey mask working there for the Big Ten Wolverines on the ice. And on the baseball diamond, 1-run cushion. Big strikeout. You could tell Tommy Henry wanted that, and he got it. And now we're back to bullpen work for Vanderbilt. Zach King came on last inning. We'll get Franklin, Brewer, and Kerr, 2, 3, 4 in the Michigan order. A little bit of a short arm delivery, and it kind of gets on you quick at 91.
It surprises you from that frame. From a frame like that, it's not a lot of times you see kind of a short arm swing behind and then go low 3/4, almost side arm. That's why the look is so different from King.
Guys, see if you can see the arm once he starts his delivery. Hides the ball really well. Right there. From our angle, yes, you can see it. From the hitter's angle, no way he can see it. Just gets on you a little bit quicker.
Good slider and a strikeout of Jesse Franklin.
Guys, Eric Bakich assigns the players numbers, and when he gave Jordan Brewer number 22, he had no idea the significance of it. Brewer had a family friend, Devo, who they called him, short for Devin, who passed away in a car accident in high school. 22 was his number. So when Bakich handed him that jersey, he said, it gave me chills. He said that Devo is his angel in the outfield, and Devo's brother got to come to the game the other day, and you could hear him chanting 22, 22. So kind of a crazy coincidence. Even Bakich said he had no idea about the story.
Yeah, Brewer heard the 22-22 coming from the stands. He got all choked up. He still talks to the mother and the father, Trevor Smiley and Mama Smiley. Trevor used to coach both of those boys growing up, and they talk a lot. So there is significant meaning to that number 22. This one up the middle. That's Ray over there, and he will throw from the shortstop side. Safe. Jordan Brewer just beat it out.
My inner Eduardo was saying in Spanish, tiene que apurarse. That means you better hurry. Ray, a second baseman, laid back on this. Very good speed from Brewer. Gets down. He doesn't even peek. He runs through the bag. Good pick by Infante. Tough call here. At first base.
Yeah, they're going to review that, and I think he's going to be out.
Perry Costello took his time with it, called him safe.
Good scoop by Infante. Now again, the question is it in the back of the glove before the foot hits the bag?
I say yes. It's a good pick there. Infante just staying with it. Vandy guys are high-fiving already.
And here's some reaction to a big screen in right field showing the replay. Yeah, that appears to be an out call.
He's out. Not by much, but he's out.
Twenty official reviews in this College World Series, and 2 have been overturned, both involving Michigan. And the original call here, safe at first. We'll see if they overturn it. It's amazing the advanced scouting that these guys have. Obviously, the SEC's got its own network. The Big Ten does. And there's a way in which these teams get video of all the opposing players and hitters, and they positioned him beautifully as he grounded it to Ray. Call at first was originally safe, and wow, they still say safe. Not sure if it was the back of the glove. Did the glove close around it before the foot hit? But it certainly made contact with the glove before the foot got down. And that may be a big call. You got a guy with 25 stolen bases now at first base.
I am surprised, because when we saw that a few different times, to me it clearly looked like the ball hit the back of the glove before the foot hit the bag. Now it's close. I mean, the foot was on its way there. But it'll stand. Brewer can fly, and he's standing on first base now.
Kerr twice has struck out, flew out to left. That's a tough pitch.
Eddie, you were talking about it, especially left on left, but the way that King hides it, if he gets it in the zone and he has that slider going, that is not a comfortable at bat for a left-handed hitter.
You can barely see his hand behind his body from this angle. That means you can, no way the left-handed hitter can see it.
Jake Eder and Tyler Brown. So Brown's been the closer. The 0-2 to Kerr. This ball is lifted high and deep to right. And it is gone. Jimmy Kerr goes deep again.
What a story. Talk about A player just showing up in fuego here in the College World Series. Jimmy Kerr hung him a slider. Second one that they've hung on him, and he knew it. Third home run of the CWS. Left on left.
There's one into center field off the bat of Blake Nelson. So back-to-back hard hit balls.
Come on, man. How cool is this? Grandpa wins a national title. Dad plays in Omaha for Michigan. Now third generation wearing the uniform. And Jimmy Kerr just hit his third home run of the College World Series. Hit 2 in one game earlier. Now the 4D replay. Watch this. Left on left breaking ball. And that is sweet. Recognized it right away. And then he knew it right away. Jimmy Kerr a little slow getting out of the box. You can't blame him on that one. 2-run home run. 3-run lead for Michigan. And a little bit more of padding now for Tommy Henry on the mound.
There's Jimmy. Yeah, his dad, his grandfather, John, who we briefly mentioned, but as big a World Series as grandson Jimmy is having, granddad in 62 pitched 2 complete games in the same day. 19 innings, 313 pitches. He also drove in the winning run of one of the games. So the current legacy at the World Series re-cemented.
Guys, let's put this into perspective. 7 home runs in the last 45 at-bats for Jimmy Kerr.
That's grandfather right there.
313. Wow, that's crazy pitches that he threw in it. But in the first 3 years, he had only 2 home runs and 194 at-bats. Goldman Sachs is getting a pretty darn good hitter.
They may have to wait a little bit. They may have to wait a little bit. Yeah, if you're on the Goldman Sachs softball team here in 3 or 4 years, you just found your first pitch.
Saturday morning, sure.
Like, you can grind away on everything else. I know the 80-hour work weeks that you have at Goldman, but you're our first pick on the softball club right now. Kid's got a chance to play baseball for a while longer.
Again, I don't think you can tell the story enough about the grandfather, John. It doesn't resonate today, but when he was pitching in 62, he beat Illinois in the first game of a doubleheader. Said, hey, Coach, I'm available. You need me? I could probably give you something in game 2. He threw the whole game, 10 innings.
Something or 10.
313 pitches in a day. Like, you could get fired for that today.
There no could.
You'd be fired.
Yeah. Not 1 but 2 CGs in one day. Oh, and he won it with a sac flying game too. It wasn't enough just to go out and go back-to-back CG.
Swung on, throw down. That one gets into center field. Here's Blake Nelson heading to third. Now we're getting a little more flavor of Michigan baseball.
Blake Nelson 16 for 16 on the season now. Making the defense work. Clark throwing from his knees, ends up with a throwing error.
Stolen base, E2. Strikeout of Bullock. There's 2 down. For Jack Blumgren, he's reached all 3 times. That pitch had a lot of movement on it. I want to thank our good buddy Dave Soup Campbell, who of course was a member of that 62 Michigan team, for sending and sharing a lot of that information about the Kerr family with us. This one hit hard on the ground, fielded cleanly. Paul across the diamond, but damage done. Jimmy Kerr 0 for 3 when he stepped up, and he blasted off. Michigan doubling up Vanderbilt, heading to the bottom of the 7th, 6-3. 2 homers tonight, 19 for this College World Series, and 23 last couple of years. We take a look at our game summary. It's brought to you by Buick. J.J. Bleday went deep in the 6th inning, and right back comes Michigan with Jimmy Kerr going yard. 2-run shot, his 3rd of this 2019 College World Series. A monster College World Series for him. And now Tommy Henry's got a 3-run lead, bottom 7. 80 pitches.
That's the number to keep watching right here. Obviously the score at the exact same time, but if you're Michigan and you can get through this game without using Jeff Criswell, there's your game 2 starter.
What would you be thinking along those lines? And I know you just sort of said it, but at what point do you start to commit to Criswell? Because Kaufman will be coming back on short rest. He wasn't great in his last start.
You commit to Criswell if you feel like you need him tonight. So you got the lead already. When we talked to Eric Bakich today, the one thing he said was, if we have the lead and it's tight, we need to go to somebody. It's going to be Criswell. You win this game, and now you have the lead. So anything you can do to win this game, you absolutely do. But you wait a little bit longer to get him up right now. If it's 4-3, that's one thing.
Different story.
6-3, we're a little bit more comfortable right now. Maybe it gives you the ability to allow a base runner or 2 out there.
Nelson throws out Harrison Ray, first out, bottom 7.
All right, so we came in tonight, and when we saw Tommy Henry the other night, the changeup was his best off-speed pitch. Tonight, the sliders really bailed him out. And it's allowed him to go to this pitch to left-handers and right-handers. He's had some swing and miss on it. He's had some soft contact on it. Rarely is there a night where you go out and you have that 3. You're just trying to find that one off-speed pitch you can go to. It's been the slider tonight for Tommy Henry, and he went to it at maybe the biggest spot of the game to get Steven Scott struck out to end the 6th. 3 flyouts, 11 ground ball outs, a lot on that slider tonight, 6 punch outs.
Ty Duvall, number 8 hitter. First pitch fouled off.
These are the tough guys to prepare for offensively, because you see a lot of video. You see how he was successful against Florida State with the changeups. Yeah, he had the slider, but that's his 3rd best pitch. Tonight, it's been, as you said, his best pitch, along with the fastball, and it's worked really well. And I know the Vanderbilt team was more focused on that changeup. That slider's coming to play big time.
There it was again. Back-to-back right here against Ty Duvall.
Now, does Chris Fetter, the pitching coach, tell Henry? Is he aware of where he is with his pitch count? You got a 3-run lead. We don't make errors. I know we made 1. We don't make them. Let's make sure we throw strikes, we get it in play, and see where we go.
That's who he is anyway, and that's the beauty of it. Is that's who he is. That's who he was in his game 1 start, and that's who he's been again tonight.
This is popped up left field, and Bullock playing fairly deep now steps in and makes the play. Let's not forget, Vanderbilt was, for all intents and purposes, really buried by the Cardinals the other night at Louisville, and they rallied and came back. And you don't win 57 games without having the ability to come back. We saw Bleday's homer. Obviously, 6-3 is a lot more comfortable than 4-3, but this is as dangerous a team as there is in the country. And this is a guy that can light it up, too. 12 homers out of the 9 spot.
What's up?
SEC championship game, Vanderbilt was down 8-0 to Ole Miss early. They won 11-10.
Right.
They can score in bunches even in this ballpark, but Henry's just been that good so far tonight.
Infante hasn't figured him out. He struck out twice. Change up for a strike 1.
He gets that changeup back now. He's in big time business. Let's see if it repeats it.
I'm good.
One fastball in. Sped him up 91 miles per hour.
Tommy Henry grew up a Tigers fan. Now, when you grow up a Tigers fan at his age, the guy that you emulate is Justin Verlander. it's not necessarily because of the power, but it's really the, as he said, the intangibles of Verlander. Meaning, I want to close the game out. I want to get on the mound and give you 9. And he's pumping his fist now. He's not even looking as the ball is in the glove of Blumgren. He is 6 outs away from giving Michigan a 1-0 lead. Verlander would be proud.
You know, I'm Tony Canilia, own the Leavenworth Cafe, and if you're here for CWS, come on down and we'll get you taken care of here, and I know you'll love the games. The city's evolving and becoming a really, you know, a mecca of new things that we haven't seen in this area before. The zoo and the museums and the old market just continually grows more and more, you know, every year. To see it evolve and become what it has been, it's been amazing.
You've been there, Rav? You've been to Leavenworth?
I'll be honest, there's so many I have not. There's so many great restaurants.
That's really good.
I got to get there. Eddie, we got to get there.
That's a breakfast
you know
place
where
you
I
guys
went
got to
the
go
other day?
find.
Where?
Rotella's Bakery.
All right, now.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Is that like Wheatfield's Bakery, just different?
No, Rotella's. Rotella Italian Bakery.
I'll say this. Omaha is more than just a zoo, which is great.
Proud of you, Eddie.
In baseball. The food in this city is so good. It is a food mecca here.
They know their baseball, too.
We were in the Blackstone district, right? The Blackstone, that place. My gosh, there's like 12 good restaurants there.
Just all lined up. The senior on Patrick Graby, who's the all-time winningest pitcher in Vanderbilt history, now called on out of the bullpen. 32 career wins, this year used primarily as a starter. Tyler Brown, the closer, was up and throwing. When this became a 3-run game, Tyler Brown sat down, and now they're hoping that Raby can take him the rest of the way home.
Pitched against Mississippi State. And that didn't go well. 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs. There's a rising fastball. He gets ahead of Joe Donovan. 8-9-1 in the top of the 8th inning. Donovan right off the bat. Raby gives up a homer to Joe Donovan. His 9th of the year, 7-3 Michigan.
Bottom of the order for Michigan has created some damage in this College World Series. And bienvenido al juego. Yeah, that's right. Welcome to the ball game. Raby gets greeted with a 391-foot, 99.9-mile-per-hour exit velocity home run. Joe Donovan.
Do it, big man. That's the dude's 9th of the year out of the 8th spot. Strike 1 to a KO Thomas, but back-to-back innings, Michigan has used the long ball. They came in with 72 homers.
Oh, Curry, did he go? Swing.
Now you start to focus your attention on what Michigan does with their reliever Criswell, and you think about Kumar Rocker, the freshman who's going to be on the mound in what appears to be now a must-win situation for Vanderbilt. Raby comes in, gives up the homer, and now a walk.
Ravi, for Joe Donovan, this is about so much more for baseball for him. He wears the number 0 in honor of his brother Charlie, who had committed to Michigan to play baseball but passed away before he got to Ann Arbor. Charlie would have been a senior on this year's team, and to honor him, Eric Bakich and the family honored him on senior day with his own jersey. 0 was the number that Charlie wore. as well. I asked Joe, I said, what's the one thing he taught you? He said, if you would have watched Charlie play, he floated on the outfield. It was a way to play 6 inches above the field, the way that he just glided out there. Another interesting piece to this, Drake Fellows actually played with Charlie in summer ball. He has "Rest in Peace, Charlie" written on his hat and went to his funeral as well. So a nice way for Joe to come out here and honor him on what would have been his senior year.
No doubt about it. And he thinks about him obviously all the time. He does say when he gets into a game and he's on the field, he tries to mirror what his brother would do, which was to really enjoy it. And he's able to focus on the game. And for sure, he's thinking about his brother and will be once this game is over. But that's a good point, Chris. Says that the ability to focus comes when guys like Henry and others are throwing 95-mile-an-hour fastballs at you. If you're not focused, you're in trouble. So once he puts a tape on, he's locked in. Little jab shot from Rogu, and that's the first time he's reached via the hit. Michigan's getting to Raby. A homer, a walk, and a single.
Guy that lets the ball travel, get deep. Four-seam fastball coming in on him. Muscles that ball to right field. Look at the ump cam here. Patient, waits for a pitch in the zone, not afraid to get jammed.
The other part about Donovan, too, he's got a fabulous personality. He's a funny guy. And during the interviews, he came in with some peak shoes. And he was all excited about that because when they were playing that Illinois game in which he said, this is going to be the end of our season. They won the season. But because of that trip, there was a big per diem. As he said, we got a big per diem for that one. So they all went out and bought shoes. He bought white shoes, but it sort of led to this tradition of whenever we're on the road, we're looking for new shoes. He came here, he said, I wanted to get pink shoes. And he found them. And he liked it because they were Nikes, and that's a Nike school. So it all worked for JD.
Yeah, there are benefits to being on the road for a month and a half. You're getting meal money every day.
Oh, yes.
Yep. It's nice to see him do that because there have been a couple of miscues behind the plate. And now 2 on for Jesse Franklin. Here's a changeup and a good one, 1-1. Last time that Vanderbilt, and the only time, was in an elimination game, that was the Kumar Rocker no-no.
We will see him again tomorrow. Duke won game 1 of the Super Regional, put 18 runs on Vanderbilt. Kumar Rocker came out the next day and punched out 19 to keep the season alive. If this holds, it will be on Rocker's shoulder tomorrow to try to get this thing to a game 3 for Vandy.
That'll be on ESPN at 7 Eastern time. His dad, Tracy Rocker, of course, a phenomenal football player, both at the collegiate level and then in the NFL. Won the Outland and Lombardi trophies when he was playing in the SEC. Two and two. Nobody out. 8th inning. It started with a Joe Donovan home run. Picks up the strikeout. Hey, Sports Center right after Major League Baseball. How KD's decision will affect the NBA. There'll be probably, instead of ripples, it'll be like tsunamis. Who's the real MVP, Giannis or Kawhi? And Alonso and the Yankees home run streaks. Yes, the Yankees have homered in their 27th straight game, Eddie. They put up another bunch of runs.
Aaron Hicks hit that home run. Started off.
Made the case that the Yankee lineup might be the best lineup ever constructed. So Jordan Brewer locked in on that bat. The mental side of this game, for those of you at home, has taken on an even bigger role than the everyday lives of these guys. 2-0. You remember doing any of the mental stuff when you were pitching at Stanford relative to what these guys do every day?
Not as much as they did, but when we got into pro ball, absolutely. I know Ken Ravizza was a big part of your career, and I got to know Ken a little bit before sadly passed away recently. But Kenny was one of the greatest and was at the forefront of that in the college game and the professional game.
He was a big part of my career early on with the Angels, and became really good friends with Joe Madden. Joe Madden was with the Angels in the minor leagues, and we used a lot of breathing exercises, how to rest, how to be able to focus.
Talk about red lights and yellow lights and green lights, flushing the negative thought, having some mechanism.
It actually gave me a big smile when I heard his name today in the meeting. What a big impact and a big loss to the game.
He was a fixture here in Omaha, too. And every time that Fullerton was here, Ken Ravizza was here, sitting right with him. Worked with plenty of other collegiate teams, UCLA. Obviously impacted Eric Bakich in this Michigan program greatly.
3-1 to Brewer. Won't swing, bases loaded. Not sure how much longer you can go with Raby in this one. A homer, a walk, a single, a strikeout, and a walk. Jim Corbin looks on. Jimmy Kerr, and the way he's going right now, and this magical run he's been on. It's not lost on anyone here. The hottest hitter on Michigan homered his last at bat, third of the College World Series. That's a good pitch. Fastball outside corner.
That's where they stayed with him. Away, hard away early in the game. Home run came on a slider, a hanging one.
Chase one in the dirt. Thomas thought about coming home and the ball couldn't be found, but he retreats to third. Dad, Grandpa.
Don't forget about Grandma to his right, to his left. All right.
Fastball popped up sky high, should be playable for Martin, drifting back, and he makes the catch, and Kerr is retired. Tough play in foul territory. That ball was moving all over the place, and Martin was able to make the play. So Blake Nelson gets a chance with the bases loaded. Well, again, there's Benjamin Kaiser, who's been very good, but has yet to appear here. And it kind of gives you a little indication as to what Eric Bakich is thinking. He'd like to use Criswell in game 2.
It's because of that scoreboard right now. If it was 4-3, it wouldn't be Kaiser getting ready. It would be Criswell getting ready. But enough of a cushion right now that Eric Bakich a little bit more comfortable with that bullpen. Criswell played a little bit of catch, but never really fully heated up. Get to a point in his Vanderbilt lineup when you get Blade, Ethan Paul, and Philip Clark, then down to Stephen Scott, where there's 4 left-handers out of 5 in the lineup too.
One and one on the outside corner. Vanderbilt would love to keep this thing at 4. It's on the shoulders of Patrick Raby. That got a piece of the strike zone. 1-2.
But throw a fastball just a couple inches, even more away now. Last one was a fastball. This one, breaking pitch. See where he caught it? He caught it deep.
Yeah.
But where the K zone was, that's where the ball passed. That's where he has to go out and get it.
Nelson towards that area where we saw the ball drop last year in the World Series. That hurt Arkansas, but that one is caught by J.J. Bleday to end the inning.
4D swing. You want to see what a 99.9 mile per hour exit velocity looks like? You put some launch angle on it. That's what it looks like. 3 left turns and add a run. 7-3 Michigan.
Giants and Rockies. In fact, that game is underway over on ESPN2. Here at 7-3, Vanderbilt trying to come back in the bottom of the 8th inning. Top of the order, Austin Martin. Austin Martin acknowledged the challenges that Vanderbilt presents both on the field and in the classroom. He has become a superstar in both. Henry falls behind 2-0. He's wanted to play for the Commodores since he was about 13 or 14. His freshman season struggled a little bit in the classroom, and Tim Corbin called him in, said, look, you got to make sure you're invested in the program. That means the whole program. And Austin looked at him and said, this is the only place I want to be. And he dedicated himself to the work in the classroom and in the field. And with the guidance of Tim Corbin and the rest, Austin Martin has become everything that they like about Vanderbilt. And Criswell is now back up in that Michigan pen and throwing pretty hard. That's ball 4. It was close, but a ball. Leadoff man, Austin Martin aboard.
Last time up, J.J. Bleday did this in the 6th inning. Fastball, first pitch, he knew it off the bat. Launch angle, 28 degrees, exit velocity, 107.4 miles per hour. The apex, 91 degrees. Distance, 398 feet. Look at that exit velocity. You do this. Average home run, Major League Baseball this season. It plays.
That's how you turn into the 4th pick in the draft right there.
It plays.
It was incredible just to hear the way that the teammates talked about Bleday and the role he has played. You asked him, what has J.J. taught you? And they all shook their head like, what hasn't he taught us? That one off. The lessons that J.J. has learned over the course of his 3 years there is basically how do you experience failure and what you do with it. He looks around, he's seen the different players at his level, said, look, everyone's got talent, but how do you deal with that failure and then subsequently turn it into a positive? And his growth over 3 years is absurd.
Growth over 1 year.
1 year.
And he was injured some last year, so the numbers don't tell the whole story. But in Bleday's first 2 years at Vanderbilt, he had 6 home runs total combined. Got 27 this year. He set a single season school record. He's turned into the 4th pick in the draft, and he's done it in a way to where it's not, he can still spray it all over the field if he needs to, but the power tool has really shown up.
Good speed at first in Martin. 2-2 on the way to J.J. Bleday. Big strikeout, and Bleday is gone.
Back to the slider, Eddie, and this is the one that just seems like when Tommy Henry needs to make a pitch tonight, most of the time it's been this one. Good slider, down in the zone. Bleday swings right over the top of it. Big first out right there, too, after the leadoff walk to Martin here in the 8th.
Guys, Tommy Henry is the most relaxed pitcher I have seen out here in Omaha. In between innings, he's sitting there chatting with his guys while most pitchers don't want to be talked to. He's talking about his favorite ringtones on the cell phone, going over song lyrics with his guys, as calm as I've seen a pitcher.
Well, everybody handles it differently. Some pitchers don't talk to anybody.
And some talk to all.
And some talk to everybody.
Some talk to themselves.
He's just looking for pals. He spent so much time alone in that room, being ill when he got here. No roommate for Henry.
I had a teammate that was pretty similar to him, Mark Burley. And one guy that used to just go around the dugout and talk to everyone who was around.
When he was pitching?
When he was pitching. You're like, really? Oh, yeah, why not?
No easier for Henry. He's dealing with Ethan Paul, whose 64th double against Louisville tied that game up. It broke the school record for doubles in a season. Senior out of Bellevue, Washington. And this one to left field, and it's going to get down on the track. So Henry's got Paul 0-2. High five. We're going to baseball. We're going to home with tonight. A little TV time, yeah. That's cool. That is really cool.
That's why you bring your glove.
Day one of show and tell next year is now covered. We got that one crossed off the list.
Oh, 2. It's past the dive of Thomas. Bleday to third base, and out is Martin, I should say, at third base. A base running error by Austin Martin. And it's Jordan Brewer who threw him out.
That was a seed from right.
That was well done. Austin Martin has no business going to third base. You are down 4. And watch the way he attacks this baseball. He just throws a BB over third base and gets him. Nowhere to go. Your run means nothing at all.
Right there, Austin Martin knew he was dead to rights. Terrific throw by Brewer, his 12th outfield assist this season. And how that changes the complexion of this inning.
Well, it may change the complexion of tomorrow, too. Because Tommy Henry's still out there. You just stole an out. And if he can get out of this one and stay somewhere 105 to 110 pitches, he probably goes back out there for the 9th.
And this is where you have to call down to the bullpen and say, just don't get too hot here.
Just be 8 away. Challenge is he just hasn't been down there very much. The understanding of getting 8 pitches away, and you get jumpy down there if you haven't been out of the bullpen much.
Given what he's done in the bullpen, how difficult would it be to stop and then be able to start game 2 tomorrow?
I think it would be a limited pitch count. I mean, you maybe go out and throw 60, 70 pitches. But based on the way that he is warming up, we may still see Chris Well tonight.
Feels like there's a commitment to him. 1-2 to Philip Clark. Call strike 3. Henry threw 8. Points to his right fielder, Jordan Brewer. His arm helped slow that inning down. Michigan's having a blast tonight, and they lead at 7-3 heading to the 9th.
NCAA College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Pretty night here in Omaha, Nebraska. The College World Series Game 1. Best 2 out of 3. Michigan leading Vanderbilt 7-3. We've seen a handful of home runs tonight. Jimmy Kerr went deep for Michigan, and that was his 3rd of this College World Series. Later, Joe Donovan went deep, and J.J. Bleday, the nation's top home run hitter, has gone yard for Vanderbilt. Top of the 9th inning. Let's see what Michigan does. Bottom 9. And already looking forward to seeing Kumar Rocker on the mound in Game 2 for Vanderbilt. If you haven't seen him, this is a special talent. And in a world in which all you're doing is projecting, and that's all you're doing in baseball, especially with kids. If I ask you, how do you project him out? What do you do?
You'd like to be the team that takes him in 2 years. I know that. Talking about Rocker?
Yeah, I think that's a special talent.
For a variety of reasons. I'll tell you, one of the things that impressed me the most about Rocker is his reaction after that game right there. After you're struck out 19 and he kept Vanderbilt's season alive. He acted like it was what he was supposed to do. I love this now. I love this. Keep the foot on the gas right now, and that's what Michigan has done the entire night. Bullock with a leadoff double here tonight.
Join the party, Christian Bullock. Only starter that had not gotten a hit for the Wolverines, and watch him out of the box. He's thinking too right away. He's his own coach, has the ball right in front of him to play. Head first into second.
It's stuff like that that's an instinct play, but there's absolutely no hesitation in Bullock coming around first base. The minute that ball comes off his bat, forget the environment, forget the Game 1 of the finals, anything else. He's playing like it's Game 1 of the season right there. And right out of the box, he's going for 2.
So that every member of the Michigan starting 9 has at least 1 hit. Well, there's a freedom, too, that you're seeing. And both of these teams play with them. I mean, there's no doubt that a lot of the stuff that Michigan does, you know, Vanderbilt was doing years ago before Eric Bakich took over in Michigan. But the freedom in which these kids are playing now has a lot to do with Bakich, as he said, handing the keys over. Oh, one Blomgren gets that down. That's perfect.
I love this play. For many reasons. He put the runner in scoring position 90 feet closer. But more importantly, remember, Criswell was warming up in the bullpen. He's not warming up right now. You add a run right here, put the pressure on the defense. Now they have to come in. Runners will be at the corner. Perfect bunt. Got a little dizzy there on the up cam. But beautifully done right there. Barehanded, can't get it.
So you got a 7-3 lead. You got nobody out here in the 9th. Donovan is up. Joe, who's already homered.
You got to bring the infield. You have to bring him in.
Shocked. I love that they didn't do it early in the game. But at this point, 4-run game in a 9th inning, I'm shocked that Tim Corbin doesn't have his entire infield in.
What's the argument for not doing it?
Well, you're going to get more outs. I mean, if you play in this spot, you're going to get more outs in general if you play your middle infield back. The problem is you're down 4. And it feels like the time where you got to take a chance because you can't afford for any more runs to score. This one surprises me.
I have no idea why they're playing for the double play.
1 out?
Yes.
Okay. Now with nobody out.
And he's unable to get him in right here. You have to watch Akeo Thomas in the bunt. Good speed at third base. So many possibilities here for the Wolverines.
2 strikes on Donovan. That's strike 3. As Akeo Thomas gets set to step in, we remind everybody we'll be back at it tomorrow night We'll see who will start for Vanderbilt. Could be Jeff Criswell, could be somebody else. We know that Kumar Rocker will go in game 2, and if Rocker and Vanderbilt can win that one, we will have the deciding game 3 Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern time. All of them on ESPN. The Major League doubleheader follows us.
Runner at first and third right now. I'd love to see a fake steal at first base to see who's covering the bases and to see exactly what play Vanderbilt would put on right here. All you do is take a couple steps hard to see if they're going to throw through, hold the ball, or throw it straight to third base.
Bullock's down there at third. Blumgren is there at first. K.O. Thomas bats with 1 down as Raby, the third pitcher of the night, continues to throw here for Vanderbilt in the 9th. Good pitch.
Yeah.
Have to be careful with the squeeze here.
That's the one Raby wants you to swing at. That fastball is just up and out of the zone. You either do that, go a little bit higher right now, or come back with a breaking ball. I'm with you, Eddie. I like that. It's safety with 1 out right there. Try to push 1 more across. Ben Kaiser up and throwing from Michigan. It looks like he will get the ball in the 9th.
Back-to-back strikeouts, and Raby is third of the night. Jordan Wogu singled his last time up. He's got to walk as well. Henry getting ready to come back out. Kaiser last pitched in game 3 of the Super Regional when they went into UCLA and won that one. Knocked off the #1 overall seed in the country. Wogu rips this one to right center. It's got some carry on it, but it's run down, and a nice play by J.J. Bleday. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th. DeMarco, Scott, and Ray to see if Henry can close it out. Take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance. That was Mr. Henry. Looking for back-to-back complete games.
Guys, what he's done in his 2 starts right here are pretty outstanding. I mean, you go out with a CG complete game shot to get to this point. And on nights where he didn't have the pitch that he usually likes to go to from an off-speed standpoint, the changeup wasn't as consistent as we've seen it a lot of times. He found the slider, he found the fastball command, and he's standing out there in the 9th inning again for the 2nd start here at Omaha.
Remember, Coastal Carolina won the whole thing in 2016. Andrew Beckwith, back-to-back complete games for that team, and that's what Henry's trying to do here. Facing Pat DeMarco, Stephen Scott, Harrison, Ray. That ball left center field. And it goes off the base of the wall. DeMarco into second, and he will be there with a stand-up double. 19th double of the year for Pat DeMarco, and a good start to the bottom of the 9th.
Pitch was left up, and DeMarco did exactly what he was supposed to do with a fastball. Barrels it, stays behind it, 102 mile per hour off the bat. Ball plays differently here at night than during the daytime. Short hops the fence, bring it in quickly, keep him at second base.
Dangerous hitter Steven Scott steps to the plate with his 14 homers, 8 of them in the last 17 games. That's going to get back into seats. So Michigan at first and third in the top of the 9th inning and could not get the run from third in when it felt like Vanderbilt was willing to give him the run. Criswell in the bullpen, Henry on the bump. Rolled over, first base is open.
That's a really good pitch.
And he throws to Henry.
What can't he do right now?
A little collision there with Scott and Henry after he had stepped on first base.
I'm just going to walk with you just to make sure.
This is a tough play here. He commits to going to get it, and you see a lot of first basemen kick it right there. Both of them collide at first, but a really darn good pick by Jimmy Kerr. And this one actually was more on Henry getting in that baseline than Steven Scott. Usually pitchers, you have to go back into the fair territory. He tried to turn around knowing the runner was rounding third.
Tommy Henry, he is kind of prepared for this moment when the coach comes out to take the ball, what you're supposed to say in order to convince him that you're not giving it up. But I don't think he's winning that argument now. And there is no argument. Big smile, though, on the face of Tommy Henry as Eric Bakich congratulates him, and Jeff Criswell comes in to try to close this one out. Be nice to find out what Bakich said to Henry. And if this thing ends this way, Chris Button will talk with Tommy Henry when the game ends. Standing ovation from the maize and blue as Tommy Henry comes off 2 out shy of a complete game, leading 7-3. With all sorts of emotion and energy in front of that crowd up there of coaches from Michigan. Interesting one here. The last time that the Wolverines beat a top 5 SEC opponent was in 1993 in the Final Four. They knocked off the Wildcats of Kentucky. That was the team of Rose, Howard, Weber. They scored 62. In football, it was the Orange Bowl against number 5 Alabama when Tom Brady had 4 touchdowns.
If they run a graphic like that in a basketball game or a football game, it's going to have this kid's name on it. Because Tommy Henry has been so important to the run Michigan's had here. 8 1/3 innings, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. He's punched out 18 in his 2 appearances here in Omaha. Works into the 9th, and now he hands it to the new closer, and the guy that may end up starting tomorrow too. We'll see Jeff Criswell on. All first team Big Ten this year as a starter, but late in the season they push Criswell to the bullpen for situations like this. It's a mid-90s fastball with a wipeout slider. All 3 of those saves, all 3 of his appearances out of the bullpen have come in the postseason.
You say he may start even tomorrow. He's done that recently, right?
He's done that recently in UCLA in the Supers. Closed game 1, started game 2.
And on third, one down. First man he faces, Harrison Ray. Fastball in there, strike one.
And the reason he started game 2 was because Tommy Henry had pneumonia.
8 1/3, 7 hits, just a walk and 8 Ks, 111 pitches, and 77 of them were for strikes. Center field, a step in. Franklin goes back. Run will tag from third, 2 down, 7-4. That run will be charged to Henry.
I don't think he minds.
No.
He'll try to run for an out all day right there.
There's your note, 11 of the 16 that won game 1 ended up winning the College World Series. Rockies and Giants, ESPN2. We'll get you there as soon as we hear from our player of the game. And the game will move over to ESPN. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, with game 2. And Vanderbilt has Kumar Rocker on the mound in a must-win game. Guy you want on the mound, given his recent success. Change up at 84 after the fastball sailed wide, 1-1. One strike away. You think he's amped up? 96 miles an hour.
What with the changeup? 87. Here comes the cheese.
Griswold talking a lot to himself. There's the Michigan box. There's Howard and several other of the Michigan athletic coaches and staff on hand to watch. On the ground is short. Lundgren. That's it. And Michigan makes the statement in game 1. They win at 7-4 behind another outstanding pitching performance from Tommy Henry. They knock off mighty Vanderbilt and are now 1 win away from a College World Series championship.
1 through 9 in the offense for the Wolverines. They all got a hit. They all joined the party. They put the pressure on Vanderbilt. And all because of that man on the mound keeping them in it.
One of the last 4 in. Is now a win away from winning a first national title in the Big Ten in over 50 years.
1962 they won it. That's the guy that's going to be on the mound tomorrow night for Vanderbilt, Kumar Rocker. What a stage it'll be here at TD Ameritrade with the big righty trying to slow down Jordan Brewer and this Michigan machine right now.
Like it.
A lot safer that way.